Ignite the drive in your soul. It's calling you. Are you brave enough to be a fool? I'm so unconscious. The thoughts of me away. No one can find me. I know who I am. I was just a little lost. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to keep it. I know I'm sure anyway. But don't get me wrong. I know who I am. Ignite the drive within soul. It's calling you. Ignite the drive within soul. To each their own. Buckle up. Run on, run the WAM. To live my baby. Run on, run the WAM. I'm off and running.
Let's start picking up the little extras of life. Hallelujah.
Hello there.
Hello, I'm just trying to figure out how to get this working. I'm not sure what you just sent me a link to. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't load it on my side.
Browser source. Stream together, but use browser source. Oh, sorry. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
That link, we'll just ignore that. Sure, we can allow. Unmute through here. Invite guest. Artemis. Send invite. There you go. Now I sent it to you.
Ah.
I did something
So,
goofy
funny
the first
thing-
time.
So funny thing on Twitch, you know how you have like in the corner your notifications and you have my Twitch and my channel?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Twitch has a permanent 1 on my channel. It's empty, and it's been empty for about a year now. But there's a permanent 1 that I can't get rid of. So it always says I have one thing waiting
What's
to
up,
be
Diogo?
done.
Hell yeah. I have that. What? I have that too. What the fuck?
Oh, it's not just me. Okay.
Let me do this. I'm going to here mute yourself on the Twitch window since we're talking through Discord. Oh, you left.
Ooh. Oh, I just clicked the wrong one. Hang on.
No worries. There, I can reinvite you. Oop, there you go. The stream literally just started. Yeah.
Please hold while we fix technical difficulties.
Look, it's not a collab stream if there's not technical difficulties. All right. I see you.
Okay, I've turned the mic off, so it should be good now.
Yes. We are good.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
No, we are meant to be visible. Just
Let me
we're just
start.
trying to work out setting up this.
Perfect. I got
thing.
the shared chat just got enabled, so we're good to go there. We got Scuff? Of course we have Scuff. It's not a stream without Scuff. Come on, guys.
I don't know if you can actually do this before you go live. Maybe you can. I actually haven't checked.
I don't
Maybe
know
we should
if you
check.
can. We you know what? Next time this happens, we absolutely should check. Yeah, shared chat. It's a pretty new feature.
Has been around for several months. It's just no one's used it, so no one knows about it.
Yeah.
Which is a very Twitch thing to have. just
Yeah,
just
you
random
know-
features no one knows about.
It really is. They make them, they don't announce them, and then you just browse your Twitch settings one day and you're like, wait, they had this?
Yeah, no, I remember having to point out to other people because they were making some really messy setups to do this exact thing. I'm just like, Twitch actually has this feature, right?
Yeah. See, that's nice. Twitch has the feature, and then the other fun one actually is Streamlabs itself has the feature built into it, which is pretty cool. So if people use Streamlabs, you can give them a link and then do it through Streamlabs, which is kind of neat.
Oh, nice, actually. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is a very recent addition for them.
Hmm.
You get single-player game recommendations.
Has been a little while. In fact, I've actually not streamed at all since the last time we did this.
I know, I pulled up your channel earlier today, and I was like, wait a minute. That's the stream. That's the one.
Yeah. Because, a lot's been going on, unfortunately, so I've not really been doing any streaming for a while, but...
Sometimes life happens.
Hopefully getting back to it at some point.
Well, it's good to be here with you. I'm very excited to... Let me make a room for us. A training mode room. Oh, man, I got 200,000 world dollars. Gotta spend all that fishing again in the near future.
Only 200,000? I'm at 6.6 million.
See, I was there, and then in the span of an hour, I literally spent all of it to fish.
Oh no, I have 255 fish because I've maxed out the number of rare fish you can have because they've overfished. I leave an auto clicker on so it just fishes until I come back to it and find it's maxed out and fish again.
Well, see, I do the funny thing of not doing that and doing it myself to make myself feel pain.
It's so much clicking though.
Oh, it is. There's the room code.
Nothing happens.
It absolutely is.
And it's hours and hours of nothing. It's terrible. I hate it. I still think one of my favorite joke articles, which was Strive related, was it Harder Drive which did it? Which was is Strive dumbing down fishing mini games?
That's a great article. I love that.
As a general update, actually, you won't see it much today because we're going to be talking for a while and I can't maintain it, but I've actually recently started voice training, so my voice is going to probably sound a bit different within time.
That's exciting.
Unfortunately, it takes a lot of conscious effort, and it's very inconsistent, and I still am not very good at it, so you're probably not going to see much of it today, because it's quite difficult. But I've been actually getting some proper help with that, actual proper help, because it turns out there's a lot of advice online that's not great. I've also, unfortunately, learned that apparently my preferred accent is American, so unfortunately I am bringing shame to my country as a British.
You're making yourself American. No.
Well, I was talking to someone, I was showing them, because basically one advice is come up with several characters from media or whatever with voices that you want to emulate. In some way, just aesthetic and tone and type, right? Because it's good to have something that you can measure yourself against.
Yeah.
They don't have to be an exact voice you're trying to create, it's just part of a character you're trying to become. And I showed ones I really liked to someone, and he said, yeah, all of these are incredibly American sounding. Thick American. Oh no.
Look at what you've done to yourself.
And then I thought about it the next day, I was like, oh yeah, I use American slang as well, don't I? Oh. Oh no.
Oh man. On the
I
grind.
will unfortunately become un-Britished as a result of my trans identity.
Your own personal revolutionary war.
Although, maybe that's a good thing as far as other people are concerned.
You avoid some of the quote unquote bullying, if you will, that happens from time to time. Saving yourself.
I'm sorry for being British.
Wait, it was all just a dream.
Also, I know this isn't actually Strive related, I just really want to talk about this, and I know you quite like the topic. I am getting my diagnosis for gender dysphoria in 4 days' time.
Hey! Congrats!
And once I have that, I can be referred to an endocrinologist and hopefully begin HRT soon.
That's amazing. Congrats
hang
to
on,
you,
let me
man.
share the
That's
screen.
that's awesome.
Wait. There we
There
go. Right, I did make some notes. So, to put context for other people, onewise did send some recent replays. I've looked over some of them, 5 games in particular.
How you doing, Lily? Good to see you.
A lot
Glad
of
to have
Johnny
you
games,
back.
actually. Through
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones we had available. But I took a sample of 5 and just kind of looked through them. Took some notes on things I found that was happening a few times and general like issues in the game plan to talk about. Nothing too crazy in depth. To be honest, I do think in general you've gone a lot more consistent in your play. There is just more like consistent use of neutral and OPZMA, and it's good. And you're getting a lot more hits for it. It is getting you the wins in a lot of rounds. It's good. But there are a few things I wanted to talk about to just like help you on a few areas that you seem to be a bit stuck with. Right. Although before I suppose we begin, did you have anything particular you wanted to ask about? Or anything you particularly wanted to cover, since you
I
might
wouldn't-
have some thoughts yourself?
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I say we roll with what you got, because what I've noticed is it feels like my neutral is really bad.
Okay.
And getting in, like, I resort a lot to, like, just jump gun if I'm on, like, half or full screen and not really getting in. And then I still find myself defaulting to, like, out of repair a lot when I could be mixing that up with 2H or something like that. So I get myself in bad positions. And then, or against certain characters, I just don't play particularly well in the neutral game. Axel's a good example. Where I don't really use my tools right now to get him properly. So that's one, and then really the other one is, which is more of just a me training thing, I guess, is properly identifying, like, when, like, after, you know, sorry, let me reset. After this hits, right, when to, I mean, that's a problem that I do that, but that's just muscle memory, is when to do, like, the close slash 2S 2H, versus when to do the close slash 6H out of the bob on.
Okay. So you basically don't know if when you
I don't
can
know my
use it.
spacing, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
It's not entirely spacing dependent. A lot of times actually scaling dependent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because the main problem, the only reason this will ever fail is the opponent sent too far. This thing actually, like, if you're in the corner, this thing works at disturbingly high scaling. The launch is insanely long.
Interesting.
The main problem is that this is a really long distance to cover, and if you don't notice, combo scaling increases the horizontal speed at which the opponent is sent out, so they can actually go outside of the horizontal range of the explosion.
Oh,
That's the reason why it will fail.
That
is combo
makes
scaling
sense.
causes it. This is also why in things like Red Roman Cancel, you can compensate with a dash up to kind of make sure you stay in, even if the scaling would normally make it fail.
Oh, wow,
and
that makes so much sense.
It's also why if you're point blank and you delay a little bit, you can end up flying over them.
I have done
Because-
that.
Yeah. In fact, there is actually one in the videos I checked where you unfortunately take a lethal combo and you slightly microdash and they're an inch away from the wall and you try to switch them out of the corner. And end up losing for that as well, which is very depressing. So, actually, I hope you don't mind, I wanted to supply that comment. Is gender dysphoria diagnosis is a necessary prerequisite for endocrine appointments? In the UK, yes. You must have a diagnosis to prove that you have gender dysphoria before they will agree to provide medication. Because basically, you need to prove that you need the medication. It is a controlled substance. It's not something you can get over the counter. It's very heavily monitored. Unfortunately, that is just something you have to go through. I will also say, if you're not familiar with the UK process, getting it done privately is expensive. Mine in particular cost me £550.
Jesus.
And that's just the diagnosis itself. That's not any of the things required to start the appointment for the endocrinologist, like the blood test. That cost me over 200 quid.
Wow.
Like, that is a lot, and while it sounds very high cost, waiting on public health care is a non-option. that is over a 7-year wait list.
Wow.
I will say, well, officially, at this current time, is a 6-year wait list. However, that wait list is growing quite fast, to the point where by the time you get to the end of it, it's probably a year longer. If you took everyone that's currently on the wait list and just no one else ever went on it again, and the current rate at which they're getting appointments, it would take them 23 years to answer every appointment.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, healthcare situation in the UK is messed up.
That's so fascinating because here, right? I know you don't. I don't know if it's state dependent. I don't think it is, but here you don't need a gender dysphoria diagnosis to get the HRT. It's actually
it's a lot
I don't want to
easier
say
get it in America
yeah.
in general.
It's not I don't even know if easy is the right word, but it is a lot simpler
Quicker.
here. And generally,
Definitely
the
quicker.
surprising thing is generally American insurance is actually very good at covering it, which is really surprising. Because I know,
Yeah. Well, okay. I know we're going way off tangent on striping, but I do want to explain this because there's been a recent thing I'm going through.
yeah,
Because during this whole time, I've been trying to get something called shared care. So in the UK, you can get private healthcare, and public healthcare will cover the cost under what's called a shared care agreement. So basically, a doctor and your practitioner will say to a private service that they authorize them to receive payment as being covered under public healthcare because their patient requires the private service to cover these needs because the public healthcare service can't, right? So it's like them outsourcing to a private service, right? But you approach them saying, hey, can you outsource, please? Unfortunately, they've been pulling back on that a lot. So while I have a legal right to request shared care, I've been denied it multiple times from multiple different practitioners, and as far as I understand it, there is basically no GP in my catchment area that will do it. So they will not cover the cost of anything. Literally
Damn.
nothing. So we're meant to have a system that actually deals with this. This affects other things too, like ADHD medication is under the same thing and is having the same problem. So that's fun for me. So shared care is what we're meant to have the NHS kind of utilise private services in this way, and that's just not a thing currently. They just don't do it because it costs them too much money and they just don't have the budget to cover it.
that's crazy.
So, yeah, and the amount of cost actually ongoing can be quite high. I mean, at the lowest end, we're talking obviously medication. Well, the medication seems to be cheaper in the UK than America, which is weird. I've heard expected is like £55 a month.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
HRT, but I've heard like in America it go as high as like $120 or something.
So, actually, it's interesting. Merlin in the YouTube chat actually said that he's worked in a pharmacy before in the U.S., and estrogen isn't a controlled substance here, so you just need the prescription. Yeah, that's as far as I'm aware on that situation, which is kind of interesting. But then beyond that, I mean, it can go that high. I know a few of my friends who've done it who they don't have particularly great insurance, but I think it's something like maybe $20 a month for them, which is pretty interesting. So I think
so much cheaper.
I think it's just fully dependent on what state you're in and what insurance you have. Because I think in a lot of southern states in the U.S. who are a lot less receptive to it, it's more expensive. But I believe
can I
in
just
New
say
York,
how funny it is to have
cheaper.
a healthcare service called SUS. And there's nothing we want to hear.
that's very funny. We love sus.
Yeah, the problem is if you get lucky, it can be great. If you're not lucky with getting the right healthcare, it can be bad. And with the way waitlists are right now, it's very much do you have the finances to cover your treatment? Because if you don't, you're kind of out of luck, and which is really unfair. Like, people should not have to, be well off financially to get a treatment for such an important thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's but thankfully I'm sufficient enough that I can actually go private. I have saving touch to cover that, but if I didn't, I just wouldn't have an option, which is
Yeah.
really silly. And I think it's dumb that anyone needs to pay this much to get it. Although, to their credit, while they are very expensive going private, and from what I understand, a lot of the cost actually is for like licensing and such, not necessarily the work hours, they have been incredibly lovely, the people I'm going with. Like, if you ask a question, they will handwrite an answer, and they will make sure it is as detailed and clear as possible, and they will get back to you in 24 hours, every time, no matter how much you ask, and they respond to everything. It's brilliant. So, while I'm paying a lot, I'm thankfully getting quite a good service for my money. I'm very
That's
confident
good.
they will, yeah, they're very professional as well,
Mhm.
and they're very, very informative, so it's lovely having that.
That's nice.
Anyways, so regarding what you were saying about, funny enough, you're actually quite correct about some of the issues you're having. A lot of what I noticed was in your neutral, and also backing up with back jump.
Yeah, yeah, I do that a lot.
Basic. But specifically, it's back jump Miss Charlotte at this. Well, generally you start doing it around this kind of spacing.
Yeah,
The difference though is if you're around this spacing, you do double jump forward.
that is true. Yeah, I do that.
You often use 214K. You just do it stationary, and you whiff it at around this spacing. So you're kind of around here when you do it, which means you're usually whiffing it. You're actually very rarely hitting it.
Oh yeah, it
which
is.
Oh man. So I wanted to get into it. But yeah, you're actually quite astute on that. Those are the main things I'd say are causing issues, is neutral. Now, I'd also say combos are a bit of a problem, so we'll get into that as well. So, the big thing I'm seeing a lot, actually, it's not just you do ad repair like this, it's specifically you do backdash before you do it. You're always doing it with a backdash first.
Ah,
So, you'll see like some kind of RPS position and then do this.
yeah.
Then this is not bad. It's kind of like a really long range shimmy, I suppose. The main issue is, if you were to say just win like round start position, if you backdash, your auto repair is never a punish. There's just no way you're ever going to be in time because your backdash still has time to recover. So the opponent has to whiff something quite late into your backdash. And a lot of characters don't really have a move where at the spacing you're doing it, there is something worth punishing. Like, maybe if I'm elf out and you're barely getting out of range at the end of the backdash, so it'd have to be sort of here-ish, I think, where your backdash barely takes you out of range, then you might be able to, in time, punish it because of its long recovery. The problem is you're not really covering much by doing that, because if you backdash at the wrong timing, you might still get hit, and you're really waiting for a very particular kind of weak poke that has such a long recovery that you have time to close all the way back to point blank and still hit. And even when you get that hit, this is your reward. It's not very high reward.
Yeah.
So the real problem there is it's like you're playing into a very narrow kind of call out, but you're not getting enough reward for it. If you're making such a like you can think of neutral as having just a whole bunch of options. It's a really big complex RPS. If a move has worse coverage, like 60 has great coverage, right? It covers a lot of things at once. If a move has really bad coverage, you're expecting it to be done because it's worth the risk,
Right.
right? This isn't.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that because Merlin, who you probably ended up watching that fight because he was one of the people that I fought.
Oh
He
yes,
was one of the
Merlin was
donors.
actually 2 of the people I saw.
Yeah, he said, if you wonder why I constantly 6P you, it's because I noticed that you did that shimmy right before you did out of repair Far Slash.
Yeah, because you always do it. It's
Yeah.
no offense. It's easy to get into habits, especially.
No, it's a bad habit. I agree with you.
So, backdashing in general, I think is actually one of the things you don't want to be doing as much as you are.
Okay.
It's very easy to get into the habit, and if you watch my games, I know I have a really bad habit of over backdashing as just a general rule. Some of this comes from Jacko because she has a really great range setup, and she has an incredibly good backdash.
Yeah.
Elpha's got a weaker backdash, and she has less value at this kind of position, so she doesn't need to backdash as much, and she's kind of easily caught out for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say a lot of time when you want to be doing backdash and repair, you probably didn't actually want to move, and if you just sat still a second, you might have found there was better options. If you just block for a moment for me, just
Yep.
a damage, as in just crouch block, it's simple. So you might be able to do something like backdash this, right? This will have a lot of recovery. It is something you could backdash, but if I'm doing it from this sort of spacing, you're kind of, it's a narrow window, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
You don't know exactly when I press. I might run in and fast slash. I might delay a moment and then do this. So you don't really know exactly when you'll backdash it. And if you do backdash it, you're probably going to struggle to whiff punish. It's possible, but because you're having to recover first, you're losing that opportunity quite quickly. So it needs to be something that will definitely hit. The difference, however, is if you block this at this kind of spacing, I've not really got myself in a good position, have I? I could do this,
Yeah.
kind of risky. I can maybe threaten that, it's kind of risky. I could do that, that's definitely risky. And I'm like a minus 11 here, so if I'm poking with this at this sort of range, it's a bit dicey.
Yeah.
And you're okay blocking this. There's a bit of risk involved because it's RPS and I might actually close it on you. But that is also just the risk of neutral. If you get caught in a position where you can't back out and you're not willing to make the call out, then the punishment is you have to RPS from a block situation.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of moves, a lot of big pokes that you might want to backdash, which are fine on block. Like, fine for you to block, I mean. Strive is built around minus frames, so moves are not necessarily great pokes. Not many things are amazing pokes. Obviously, Elpha's a bit of a weird example because she's got a bit of a mediocre poke game, but she's got very good movement and amazing on block stuff because she can just force this. So, not the best example. Johnny is a very good example. Stuff like his 5H is actually quite bad on block a lot of the time. He has really bad RPS from his 5H compared to, assuming he has no meter. His 5H forces him into having to cancel pretty much because it's so minus, but his
Interesting.
cancel options are a bit risky. So if they're having to play into big moves like that, you probably want to block it because you can play into that. It depends a little bit. Obviously, you can always do a call out. And if they're not using that kind of move, your backdash is probably not recovering in time to get anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you backdash something like a fast slash, you are never punishing it. At all. Unless it's like Nogoriyuki fast slash and you're incredibly good on timing and fast reacting.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Backdashes are weird in that they're very safe, but they're actually hard to get reward out of. Unless you're backdashing something like a throw, it's very difficult to find a situation where backdash is definitely going to reward you. A lot of the time, the reason why you use something like a backdash is usually because you're in an awkward spacing where the opponent has a threat and you don't want to be challenging that threat. You just want to create a new situation at distance.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're doing it kind of at this spacing, you're creating this range where you no longer have an attack. So, yes, you've escaped their attack, but you've also disabled your own threat. You don't really have one anymore.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Outside something particular like maybe you bait them in and then bomb them stockpile something. You can like there's always room for baiting them with your movement. That's totally reasonable. But if you're backdashing specifically to make them whiff and then get back in, you'll probably find that's very difficult. And it probably means that if you backdash, probably meant you actually had room to just attack them a lot of the time. Or block. And you might find it's actually okay to block. The other thing about this move, I was saying, is it's very low reward.
Yeah.
I will actually say, because you mentioned about 2H, right? 2H is a very similar move. They're both advancing mids. The difference is, this is cancelable. It launches into a combo. At worst, you're getting this. There is a more optimal, but it's a little bit tricky.
Oh yeah, that isn't. Oh, I was gonna say that's a
Oh,
micro
I'm
dash
messing up.
combo, isn't it?
I'm
Woo!
actually doing it way too early. Oh my gosh. I'm
That does not look
pressing
easy.
before- I'm pressing before I actually begin dashing every time. I hate this.
Oh!
we go.
Oh my god! Damn, that's crazy.
There's actually like a combo there. So it's annoying. It's a 1 to 3 frame micro dash, so it's
Oh,
you can come off that if you do
yeah.
it properly. I think you have to like do a delay after it.
Ooh, close.
Not delay that much. One day I'll get there.
This is the type of thing that Frogger
Okay.
pulls out in the game. Jesus.
Yeah, there is a more optimal string, but I don't do it because I'm bad at it. I just don't do this. It's very simple. It's good reward. It gets them in the corner. Easier.
Yeah, free record
Yeah.
pressure.
Also, even if you don't cancel, this is -4 on block at worst. -4 at worst. So you're incredibly safe, right? It also tends to space out if it's late frames, so if you're just doing it as like this sort of thing, it's very safe. So if you're at this spacing and you're like, I just want to rush in pretty suddenly, 2H is probably doing better than out of repair. Now you might think to yourself, well, out of repair is faster, right? This move is frame 14, and this move is frame 18. It's a little deceptive because 2H hits late into the motion. She doesn't swing until most of the way through. Out of repair hits very early into the movement, and frame 18 is actually further forward, to the point where the two are pretty similar frame data in terms of startup at this spacing.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not much faster to go with out of repair. There's other perks too, like 2H is actually a lower hurt box, while this actually makes you taller. For some reason, despite her crouching down, this is actually a taller hurt box than just standing still.
What? Huh?
Yeah, this is it's a dumb hurt box. I hate it. He's deceptively tall, but this one's actually as low as her crouch, so it's actually easy to slip under things. There is definitely in Zona matchups. This is a really nice thing because Zonas have a lot of tools you can crouch under.
Yeah.
So in general, I would say just swapping for 2H would be better. And I actually made a note of this. Every time you just happened to use 2H instead, worked. You actually had virtually no failures with 2H.
You know,
And the only times you did, you whiffed and were never punished. The opponent backed off and didn't see you actually whiffed in time.
yeah, it's funny you say that because Merlin said it's the reason why that he gets hit by the 2H is that, you know, I keep doing that shimmy, and then when I throw out a 2H, it's not expected
It's a
in the lower
great
hurt
move.
box, you know?
This is probably one of my favorite moves in her entire kit. It's slow, but it covers so much distance, and it's so safe. The
Yeah.
moment they block it. And the other thing about it is a neutral tool. This can ambush people. Even if they have like a really good 6P that you struggle to cover, this in neutral can catch people before they're ready, and they won't 6P you. They
Yeah.
have to be in the frame of mind to expect you to 2H and block it and then 6P it. So sometimes they might just incidentally block it, not realizing, oh, they got record. Okay, great.
So then, actually,
Yeah.
Merlin asked a good question that I have is what is...
Okay.
Does he asked, which I agree with, does Elfelt have bad cancels after 2H? Because he said his default reaction is just to 6P if it's blocked. So like if 2H is blocked, how do you stop the 6P? What do you cancel into instead? Or do you just
So this
lose
is going
the
to
rock,
be
paper,
really
scissors?
annoying. It depends entirely on the matchup.
Oh man.
This is where Elfelt gets very matchup specific. Elfelt in the mirror, funny enough, has a 6P that is obnoxiously hard to deal with because it has almost perfect coverage of the RPS. So the mirror match is scuffed because she has no respect for herself. It's so funny. So let's say it's a slow 6P, like it's Potemkin, or
Okay.
Cold Lewis, or Giovanna has a slow one. And just block a moment. There.
Ah.
Okay, hits on frame 9. Or sorry, frame 10, I should say. Because it's -4 on block, and then to frame 6. So this is frame 10. So a 6P that is frame 11 or slower will get counter hit.
Okay.
Then you have tall 6Ps, well obviously Bomb Chocolat, but a lot of them don't. In fact, you even have ones, Dizzy and Zato are a bit of an exception here, they do hit you, but not if you side switch. So if you're close enough, their 6Bs will just fail automatically. Oh yeah, and Faust, I believe, has the same issue.
Interesting.
There's a lot of 6Ps where if you side switch, they no longer work. So the counterplay there is be a little closer, and they just can't 6P.
Yeah, it seems like that works for Elfelt. Oh no, it doesn't.
No, not Elfelt. Elfelt actually is one of the few that just covers completely. It works at all spacing. If
That's
you're assuming you're
crazy.
buffering it. If you're a little late on the input, then it might, and obviously the person is always prone to error. So this is something you can do against a lot of 6Ps. It's just that. There is a few other techniques, but it varies a lot on risk and reward. So one of them, if you just block for me a second.
Yep.
You
Okay.
can just do this. It's very weak on hit. I didn't realize I've got my music like overlapping with the game music. There's been like two things playing at once. It's just quiet, no one noticed it. So this is just a simple frame trap tool. You have to manually delay it, so it's kind of annoying. You can do it without a repair too, but don't unless you have meter. Unless you're willing to spend the Roman cancel for it. The other option is Wild Assault. So you have to delay your Wild Assault a little bit, but you can do Wild Assault. And then the last one is a very bit scuffed, which is do a 6P back.
Oh, it.
You can low profile their 6P as your 6P. Depending on the timing and situation, this is either a clash or a punish. And if it's a clash, you can get some pretty silly stuff going. So try and actually 6P me on this.
What the hell is that? That's so funny.
And if you delay it slightly, it's a punish. So you can just do that, right?
Crazy.
So the main thing is, if they have a really... Oh, also I should say, some 6Ps can be outspaced. So Slayer is a really good example of this. If you're far enough away and you just do nothing, he will whiff, right? This is a pretty important part of using it as a poke, is you're probably doing it from spacing, where most 6Ps just fail automatically. The main time you can't space out will be things like block strings, so you're like this close up in their face. Obviously you can't get spacing.
Right.
But if it's in neutral and you're just sending it from this far away, then you're almost certainly out of range, so they just can't 6P you anymore. So they will just whiff 6P, and then you can do something like 2D, you can do fast slash. Careful if they actually do a slow 6P, they might just hit your fast slash anyway, so 2D is quite nice for that. Or even just another 2H just to whiff punish. There's also some metered stuff, like you can do,
Oh,
you can
that's
do
nasty.
the Wrecker into jumping kick. So there's options. The general ones you want to think about is just 2K stagger against the slow ones, and Bomb Bomb Chocolat against anything that isn't tall. If it is both tall and too fast to use 2K, that's when you need to think about Frame Trap Miss Charlotte, or Wild Assault, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Or out of repair with like Roam Cancel, assuming you have that. I say with Roam Cancel because while this is higher reward on hit than Miss Charlotte is, the risk is so much higher.
Right.
This thing is incredibly safe on block. You know about the point blank fire mechanic, right? The fact that this thing changes at point blank?
No.
Okay, do you see how you're getting knocked to the ground right now?
Yeah.
Like launching you? Do you see how right now you're
what?
not being knocked to the ground?
Huh? I did not
Okay,
know
you
this
didn't actually
existed.
know about this. Okay.
No. What?
There is a this was actually added in a patch later on, where on the first frame of the attack, the entire barrel of the gun is a hitbox, and if that hits, the several properties change. The first is the hit stop of the projectile is doubled. This means even on block, you are -7 on block.
Oh
so
man.
you're in much longer block stun. You might notice how it's almost like there's a clean hit effect where it just like pauses you for longer.
Yeah.
That's essentially what's happening. The other thing is it becomes a launch, so it knocks down. And what's the other thing? I think there's a second thing. I think it's just that the barrel of the gun itself becomes a hitbox, so it's not just the shot, it's like the entire gun is, so it can't like fire past you anymore. So it used to be a point where you could actually fire past the opponent, but with this change, you can now like hit a point blank range. Oh, also has a massively increased pushback, that was it. It's like double pushback. So if you block a second, and see how far you get pushed back?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, shit. Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
you see how much further you go. This means it's incredibly safe. There is no way to punish you. In theory, they can instant block it. Even then, they can't punish you because you're -7 outside of the K normal range. We're like this range on instant block. So
Oh my God.
this is one of the safest pressure enders that ever existed. So if you must, then you can just do that. Now I will say it's difficult to time it. 6Ps do actually break the projectiles, so you need to manually learn the timing. So there will be a bit of struggle with that. Worst comes to worst, you can just block, obviously. That's fine if you need to block. But if you want just an answer on how do I beat them, that is a good answer. It's a very safe answer, knocks them down, gets you to a safe position. You know, what you're doing with this is just it's a greed play. You shouldn't expect to always get value just for them blocking 2H. Because it's a very good normal with or without. So this is just you're playing it safe, you're just getting it back to neutral, and you can 2H again, right?
Oh, I
So-
see.
So to backpedal a little bit to the topic, we were saying you'd like to add a power up. And I was saying, in the games you played, your 2H actually was quite good. You didn't get punished once for using it, and you can hit several times. And you got hit with it several times. In fact, actually you seemed more confident hitting the spacing with a dash 2H than you did with add repair. Funny enough. You whiffed add repair a lot of times, you did not whiff 2H more than like 2 times in the games I saw.
Alright.
So, yeah. So I think just replacing that with 2H would be good. The
Okay.
other thing is I want to talk about though, is the main problem I think you are having is not that you're using out of repair necessarily. This is a fine move if you have to. I actually don't like this move in neutral at all, but it's fine, right? It's not necessarily a bad play. The issue is you're not moving. You're starting an attack from a static position, and that's what you're doing. And the only time you're moving is you're doing a backdash first. So your positions are very fixed. It's like you don't use any like dashing forward or like shimmying with your walk. You just backdash and you maybe do something stationary and then add repair. So it's very fixed movements. So the opponent doesn't ever have to guess on can they be hit right now, because they already know. Well, no, because you're outside of your attack range. So what's going to
There's
hit
a way
them?
to punish it, yeah.
When you could be doing a micro dash 2H. And suddenly, they do need to be very afraid of the situation. Right? So do you see why? So if you just stood still, like this exact spacing here, this is quite a common one for you to do add repair. But you were never dashing here. You were never choosing to walk or move. But if you were to move, you actually create quite an ambiguous situation. And this is something I really like about Elfhelm's movement, is she can start a dash from this kind of spacing, and it's very hard to tell her intention. Because if I start a dash, I could just go in for a fast dash. I could dash in and fast dash you, or I could do this, because this sends me backwards to that spacing I was already at. So now you're not really sure if I'm actually committing to an attack or fireball. Or I could dash in 2H and just send it, you know?
Oh man.
This is obviously something that comes to practice, and obviously once you get you get into FD cancelling. But the point is, utilize that movement more ambiguously, so that when you're at the spacing, rather than just saying I can press a long button, you say now I can dash, and they have to guess what comes after the dash.
Oh, now that's interesting. That's
So
oh
now-
my god.
And you might find that this actually gives the opponent a lot more trouble because they don't know what angle you're coming at, and they don't know if you intend to just slow down or not. And this is also how you provoke whiffs, by the way. You don't just make them whiff by doing a backdash. You make them think you're about to step in, and then just don't.
Oh man.
Because if you're trying to prevent me running in and you react to the dash, you might do something like, I don't know, press your 5k, maybe your fast slash at this spacing. But you'll see I've never actually entered your range. But if you were to react slower to check that I've entered that range, well then you're letting me into my 2H range with no concern. It's like, I can hit you with 2H right here. Right?
Jesus.
And I'm not in your fast slash range yet. So when you see me approach into that spacing from here, you are immediately scared that this is a 2H that I'm showing you right now. I've yet to enter your range once, but every single one is a feint for a 2H. And it might be that I dash up with a bomb bomb. So now you can't press
Wow.
anything. And now they need to actually back off or jump in some way to evade the incoming attack. This is what you can use her fast dash speed for, is I have long range, now be scared that I can dash. As a weird little quirk on this, by the way, which is why she's quite good with this, her fast dash actually boosts momentum. Like, this has an extra slide associated with it. So, when you dash, you slide forward a little bit, right? Like, you
Yeah.
see how I just sort of keep moving a little bit? Her fast dash increases her momentum, so she slides forward more than any other move she has.
Interesting.
So if you have that little kick of momentum, she goes quite far with fast slash. This is a weird little perk tip. Funny enough, this is also a thing Kai has on his fast slash. So you ever wondered how his fast slash always seems to catch your backdashes? That's why.
Huh. Okay.
So Elva's got a really large fast slash. One thing she's very good at is just she hits very far and she slides in with it. So this is an advancing attack they really need to be afraid of. And they know that you control a lot of space just by dashing.
Yeah, because after that far slash, you could follow up with like 5H Bob-omb Chocolat or just go right into Rekka or something like that.
Yep. Or if you're partial, you can do that. Obviously, do the combo correctly. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And it is good to be doing that to present the opponent. The other thing is, this is, you might notice, a higher reward than just add repair. Right? Immediately, this is already a short combo if the hit lands. So not only is this quite a nice advancing threat, it's just a higher reward threat. It's
Yeah.
also safe. This on block is completely safe.
Wow.
I mean, yes, if you blind confirm to 5H, they might be able to do something like block a fast dash 6p. Nobody does it, but it is a thing they can do. And then you might just do, alright, you blocked it, 2H. And then they get nuclear detonated for doing
Jeez.
that. This is also something you might see a lot of Elfers do, which is just poke with fast dash and just go into 2H anyway, on hit or block, because it's just I'm forcing RPS now.
Jesus.
Oh,
Okay.
you didn't immediately interrupt me. Alright, hold this RPS, because I know you have to do something on the 2H. I know you can't cover it all. So that's the big thing I want to talk about there. The other thing I want to talk about is your use of MSR. So there's a few problems with this move, but that's because this move has a weird number of... I will say, for a fireball, this thing has so many weird edge cases, it's kind of hilarious. Because we have an air version, it has the, the two different kinds. It's got the point blank fire. There's also the ricochet shots as well as like direct fire. This move has just got a lot to talk about. So let me just double check my notes on this. So, one problem you have, if you're at this spacing, commonly you back jump. The opponent has not moved, the opponent hasn't attacked, and the opponent's not done anything yet. You just jump back. The problem here I'm seeing is, why are you jumping back? Because you don't win for being at full screen, do you?
Nope.
Yes, you're safe, but like, say I do this, but you just slowly walk your way in, right?
Now you're stuck in the
You
corner.
see
yeah.
something's happening.
Yeah, you're stuck in the corner. You have
Now
negative
I'm-
penalty.
I'm
mean,
in the corner. Exactly. I'm in the corner. I'm getting like less tension. You can't tell. It's a very subtle mechanic, but yet less tension
Yeah.
as you do this stuff more. And even if I were to land a combo now, I can't wall break because I'm too far away. And they can control the space more easily because I can't move back anymore. So now I literally can't backdash even if I wanted to. So now I'm boxed in, and I have to now get myself back out of this situation. And it means I can't do these like shimmies nearly as easily because they know there's a limit to how far back I can go. They know there's a point where I can no longer avoid their attack. So you want to stay out of the corner, and when you're already at full screen, it probably, a lot of the time, it means you're already approaching the corner. Because you're as far away from each other as can be. So when you jump back and do this, you are giving a lot of space. In general, there is always something called like fighting for the center. It's less of a deal in Strive because you tend to move around the screen a lot. But in general, the center of the arena is the strongest position. Your combos will lead to wall breaks in a lot of situations, and the opponent has their movement restricted because if they go back, they'll get cornered. When someone is in the corner, you're kind of around here. This is basically one of those like powerful spacings you can possibly be in, and to get into that, you only need to be in the center and then just run forward a little bit. So
Wow.
the center is an important resource for pretty much every character. I don't think any character kind of likes to run away. People can think of Axel as like being very keep away, but you will notice that Axel's kit is built around the fact he has several ways to get himself back out of the corner because it's actually quite dangerous for him to stay in it. Things like Winter Mantis, for example, exist
Yeah.
purely to side switch. That's the command grab word where. The other thing is, this is not threatening, I'm going to be honest. Unless the opponent really has no idea what they're doing, this is not really winning you games much. It's pretty low reward. They can kind of just eat the hit and they will get in. So that's one issue, it's just using this, like, as just, I should clarify, I don't think it's bad to use your fireball. Your fireball is good. I know my dusted writing for it is a little bit pessimistic, but it is actually a nice thing to have a poke, because if you hit, you do a little meter, it's a little bit of shit, it's fine. Like, it's nice. But, two things I would change. The first, jump forward as you're doing it. Close the distance, because you're already getting pushed back by the fireball. Take the space as much as you're able to. That will immediately avoid you getting cornered, because if I keep doing this, you'll notice my position doesn't really move. Like where I'm standing,
Right.
I don't really move as long as I'm doing this. Second benefit is if I jump forward, it's a little bit more ambiguous now, because they don't know if it's about being air dash.
Yeah.
It's not great, it's not like a great ambiguity, because it's kind of obvious, but it's a little better. The other thing I would change is also, don't necessarily just use a fireball, just because you can. Because some characters actually will set up powerful things against you. A good example was in a set against Merlin. They used Graviot Word, his Sonic Boom. They set up the heavy version when you were doing this, and immediately you lost neutral. Because you did this, you fired into a massive multi-hit projectile, realized you had nowhere to run, and they just walked into the corner, basically.
Yeah?
So, if the opponent has any way to challenge you, you have to immediately think, okay, is there something else I could do that isn't just waiting until they do the one thing that works? Because you might find you need to actually close the distance up. And that if you're too far away, you might not be able to reach. It's like, this range could actually be a problem. This range is quite nice. Does that make sense? Like, just the ability to go in when you need to go in. To pair alongside your fireballs. I'd also say don't also just... You only use the air version. Literally only the air version. I didn't see you use the ground version a single time across any of the games. Which is odd, because the ground version is actually a lot stronger overall, I think. The main weakness is they can jump in on you easier, but like... it's better on block. You can close the distance easier, and it tends to hit a little faster, so it's a little harder to see it coming, whereas this is kind of a lot more telegraphed usually. So I think throwing in just a little bit of firing from the ground and getting used to doing that as well could help. Just be more aggressive with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like jumping forward, running in with it, and just kind of use it to bully the opponent a little bit.
Okay.
And try and find that spacing where you can sometimes just jump in because they're too afraid of a fireball.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, that's the first thing I want to talk about, the fireball, was your use of range. The other problem is actually your use of ricochet shot. So you know how you can fire over them, it ricochets back, pulls them to you.
Yeah.
You have a bit of a problem where you double jump every time before doing it.
Oh, yeah,
And-
because then you can't really punish off it.
Yeah, you're much worse on hit and block. In fact, there is one point in particular I made note of where you were -3 on hit, and you still went for close slash, and you traded into a 6p. You got lucky that they pressed a very slow move and traded, because if they pressed anything, you actually lost the entire game off that choice. to
Oh,
do
man.
that. Like from this height, this is not good on hit. This is terrible on hit.
Interesting.
Now, I've spoken to you a little before where I said treat this like it's a triple jump, where this is your third jump, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if you were Chip, for example, would you be scared of Chip just running up doing triple jump immediately? Like, not even just waiting, as in just mashing jump. You probably wouldn't actually be that scared of him, because he's immediately taken out his movement opportunities.
Right.
So now he has to attack as he comes down or block.
Right.
In this case, you can't block. So,
Yeah, you're just screwed.
and also if you're too high up, this becomes really bad. So the way you want to see it is less like I have to double jump first, but more of a I can jump, I can double jump, and before that double jump is finished, I have a third.
Ah, okay, I see.
So you do want to stagger your jumps a little bit because it's all about baiting out responses rather than just spamming jump immediately. If you want to get height quickly, just super jump. It's a lot faster. The purpose of double jump is the fact that you can jump forward and then just jump again. So they don't know if that jump is about to go up or down. Because if you're coming down, your JS is quite nice coverage, your JH is quite good coverage, your JK can be quite nice. Like, she has a good ways to cover herself landing. So if they just see a jump and then a second jump comes half a second later, it's a lot more ambiguous, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you have to let them see the jump first before you do the second jump. Because if you do it too fast, all you're presenting is a double jump. And there's no way to make them react to that in a bad way. Because when they see you jump, they have to wait anyway. Like, you don't respond to the jump necessarily with a 6p. You kind of have to react to the air dash. So you have to bring out some kind of reaction with the first jump before the second. And the same goes for the fireball. So when you double jump, you have to wait for them to see the double jump falling before you go for the fireball. That way you're lower to the ground, so this becomes plus on block. Not necessarily enough to combo, but plus. And it also is more likely to get around something, because they're trying to catch you as you fall. So you see how I'm falling down here, and if you were to try to hit me right as I come back down to the ground, like that.
Oh!
Yeah, I wait for you to do it. Because I'm waiting for you to try and anti-air me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I will say this is not the only way you can use it. You can do it from a single jump, obviously. There's a lot of good reasons for that. You don't have to use it after double jump, you can fall down and other stuff. But my main thing I want to get across is make the movement more staggered. Separate the options away from each other a little bit, and just allow time for things to happen. Both see what they're doing and decide what will work. And don't rush towards doing a double jump as soon as possible, because this is really high up. Like, this is so high up, it's unnecessary.
Yeah, you're not joking.
And the game will punish you for it. It will whiff, it will be worse on hit, and it's bad on block. So that was the first thing of that. Where are we?
Oh, that's a good question,
One
Marlon. We'll say
last
that one.
thing, because
Yeah.
there's a lot to cover with Fireball, don't worry. If there's too many things at once, just let me know. The other thing is using this on a single jump at this range. So this is another thing you do. So you jump forward like this for a ricochet. Oh my god, imagine this. Like you'll double jump forward for a ricochet, or you'll be at long distance and back jump. The third thing you do is at this kind of mid-range, you tend to, I think it's neutral jump or back jump. And do this. So we're quite close to this range, and this is what you do. Also, just to respond to Carmen's comment, it's not just DPs. Air throw is universally a thing that will punish you. People will mess up air throw a lot, but once they actually start doing it consistently, you're just getting thrown every time. Some characters can also do air combos pretty reliably. If you're doing it this high up, you're going to get punished a lot. Or they're just going to block it. If they block it or get hit, this is not an advantage for you. You're too high up. Kind of bad.
Merlin
You gotta
also said that I should ask, which I think also makes sense, about the rock, paper, scissors against DP. Because I just get effed over by DPs.
Well, you block it, obviously, but I suppose we'll get there in that moment. So, the main thing I wanted to cover, the last thing I wanted to cover about the Fireball, was you doing this sort of like, just direct fire from the air at this sort of spacing. So, remember how I said the ground one is generally safer? The reason I say that is because this is terrible on hit. Like, well, as a bit of trivia, how minus or plus do you think this is on hit when I don't hit the ricochet?
I don't think it's very good if it doesn't hit. Or is it? I don't know. Oh, because
Well,
it's not
I'm saying when it
ricocheting.
doesn't ricochet, so it's
Oh.
just a direct shot into the head like this.
That is it. That seems pretty
Oh, sorry,
good
not
if
that.
it doesn't ricochet. Then. Am I wrong? Am I right?
That is about minus 20 on hit.
Oh.
You are deathly vulnerable when you do that.
Oh no.
Several characters like Johnny and Abba and Nagoriyuki have incredibly consistent ways to just press a button and hit you every time. In fact, I think pretty universally Orange World Assault actually will hit you out of this at a lot of spacings. So if you're just doing a direct shot into them, yeah, that's vulnerable. There's a clip in one of them, let me see what it was. Which game was it? It was one of the early ones you had.
No, Cage Man, you're definitely right. I do not. On very rare occasion do I bait DP. Most of the time, I just get effed over by a DP, and then immediately suffer for it.
The main problem I have with you doing it is you're getting the hit, yes, but you are unaware that you're actually losing the neutral by doing this. You're doing a single hit, but the opponent then just runs in and is now insanely plus. There was one example, I think you did against one of the Johnny players, where they get hit and immediately step dash in and press fast slash. Or was it was like close slash or fast slash, one of the two. And you tried to backdash and got your backdash caught. Because they'd already got really close and punished you as you tried to escape. Because they had time to run in and start the attack before you were recovered. Like, it's not like the worst thing in the world. A lot of people will fail to punish you for that, and it obviously is a little bit hard to tell sometimes if it's about to happen. The issue is usually that you don't really want it to happen, even if it does, because you're not winning for this. You're not getting any kind of advantage or pressure. Unless you hit like point blanks to get knocked down, there's just no benefit to this. And it means if you jump and you did this, it means you probably could have just done something like a jump. Like, this is awesome. This is actually just fine to just jump forward. There's no
Oh,
problem with
interesting.
Or Bomb Bomb Shuffle if you want to go over. This move is amazing. I love it. This move covers everything. And it goes in the air really fast. Like, if you're doing a jump this close, you don't want a fireball. You want to just hit them. Because this move is, more than anything, is a defensive tool. It's either something you use at long range to disrupt them setting up, something like Chaos's Curse, Test and Stain State, like disrupting those. You do it to poke from afar. Or you do it when you're too close and you can't move in the air and you want to bait something out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a way to defend yourself a lot of the time. It's not really... Although I said be more aggressive, that's more about positioning. Like, be aggressive for your positioning. But the move still is, especially the air version, it's primarily there to defend yourself. It's not very good at this kind of spacing when you're making that call out to jump. Because that spacing, you're able to just jump in on them. Like, this actually is a mechanic. We can just do a little bit of Street Fighter in this game. I'm just going to quickly read what some people say. The RPS is called Baked. Yes, with DPs you do just have to bait them. That is although there is some nuance to that. We'll go into a few things, but yes, there are ways to cover DPs while also doing other things. But sometimes you do just have to bait a DP. That's just kind of the call you have to make.
That's putting a lot of faith in me.
Also, Elfa is a great character. I love her.
Alpha, my beloved.
She's so adorable.
She's so goofy.
So that's not what I want to cover regarding the air missile, because this seems to be your favourite move basically, and I wanted to like go into that because there is quite a lot with this move to cover. Again, it can be a little bit complicated though, because there is just a lot of ways in which this move can be used. It's probably the most versatile of the air fireballs in the game, despite its weaknesses. Because of the way it has that really weird kickback on it and homing shot. Right, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, you're asking about DP. So I guess we'll take a quick tangent. So, when it comes to things like, if they just DP on Oki or whatever, and you don't have a safe jump, you just gotta bait it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do something like, I hit a close slash, you just gotta bait it, right? Sometimes you just gotta bait the DP. This is not... DPs are a little bit nuanced though, because for most situations, to do a DP, there are two rules about it. The first is they have to commit to doing the 63 motion.
Right.
This sounds very small, and it is kind of subtle, but it means that they can't react with a DP, in most cases. It also means, if they want to do a DP, they have to prepare to do a DP. So if you catch them off guard with something like this, like, oh, they blocked a 2k, and they've just only now known they've blocked a 2k, they're probably not going to be able to DP in time, because they're not quick enough to drop their guard and start doing the 63 motion.
Ah.
So if they're not aware that there is a situation that they can DP in, they might not actually be able to do it. So this is why you'll see it very rare for anyone to DP on something like a 2k, for example. I mean, one of the things. We'll get into the other one. In some situations, it can be hard to know to DP in time. Remember how I said about how people sometimes aren't ready for the 2H to just swing into them?
Right.
So you can just wreck her? Same for DPs. It's unlikely, unless they have a very good reflex, to begin the motion input straight away. For most players, the motion adds about 7 to 9 frames, I want to say, in terms of how long it takes them to prepare the input. You can imagine that makes it a little bit difficult sometimes to react to situations. So that is an important consideration. The other important thing is that doesn't work on side switch. So if you switch sides, you beat a DP by default. They just don't. The input will come out wrong because it will assume they're doing it the wrong way around. Depending on the character, that will do something else entirely.
Oh,
so
wow.
Sol might get Night Raid Vortex when he attempts the Volcanic Viper here. This means that anytime you're doing a left-right mix-up, it's a lot riskier for them to press a DP, unless they're doing the OS. There are like OSs and such. A lot of players are not doing it, so I'll say for now, don't worry about those. Just consider that when you're doing a side switch, a lot of players aren't able to adapt to that. They will have to plan ahead which side they want the DP. This is why things like run-up bomb shock are actually deceptively kind of safe against DPs. It's also safe against a lot of reversals in general, not just DPs. Like this super here, you can bomb them over it, so if you were to do this on Oki, you would fly over it and just punish them.
Oh wow.
Right? A lot of supers in the game do not hit behind them, so you can just intentionally bait it out by just flying over them. DPs in particular hit very high, and that's why you can't do that. But you can still do things like intentionally do a side switch, so they won't know which direction to input. So those are like universal ways in chat. The other two ways, the first is safe Oki. So you understand the concept of a safe jump, right?
Yes.
So if I do something like
That's safe, yeah?
no, it's too early into a combo for that to hit. Oh,
But no, that I do know that
alright.
is a safe jump option that she has.
The
yeah.
Rekka rate into this later into a combo is a safe jump. And that's because you're hitting them with an attack and then you land and recover before the attack comes out. That's called a safe jump. There's also safe meaty. Elfo doesn't really have a good safe meaty, but you might see characters like Leo do his 5p against characters, or Kai does his 5k, it's like a little low kick thing. Those moves have such little recovery that they can hit them meaty and still block a reversal.
That's crazy.
This is something definitely keep in mind with Elfelt. She has a slower reversal, so a lot of moves are safe meaty against her. In fact, close flashes are universally a safe meaty against Elfelt if you time it correctly. So you can just have a low recovery move. Not really a thing in Elfelt's kit, but that's another way. The other way is projectile Oki. In our case, Bomb Bomb Chocolate. The explosion itself is a projectile. It will hit the opponent for you while you're blocking. So, as you might recall, you can do Meaty Bomb Bomb, and this will... so this is DP safe, right?
Yep.
And that's because the explosion is hitting them while you are blocking. Or more specifically, you can begin blocking immediately after the explosion ends, which is fast enough that you'll always be able to block the DP if it's even like, I think 3 frames meaty is when it can start blocking any DP. So, pretty good. And I think we've explained this before, but I will recap it just to make things a little clearer. If you could just block a second for me.
Yep.
So while I show. So when you do something like a bomb on shot, right? You have your general mix-up. You can do like a JD overhead, like that. But you can also do things like drop into a 2K.
Yep.
Because a meaty bomb bomb is gapped into 2K. Remember? If you go for the 2K, you're safe from DPs. And the reason why
Oh,
is
right.
for
I
DP to
remember
come
we
out-
talked about this. Yeah. I remember we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
That you could land go for 2K, 2D.
I think we talked about it while... It wasn't actually last time, it was while you were streaming and I was in the chat just
Right.
explaining this.
Yeah, this
So
one
the
I do
reason-
remember, yeah.
So, to do a wake-up DP against a meaty attack, it has to be frame 1. They can't delay it by any amount. This means there is only a single timing the DP can come out and hit you, and that timing is when you're still in the air. So if anything happens for you to get down to the ground, it means a DP did not happen. Like, explicitly, there is no way for the DP to come out and hit you after you've landed. This means things like your 2K is just safe, as long as you don't press anything else. Because for that to happen, you've already landed, a DP had to have already happened. This is option selecting, if you know that term. So, you don't actually look at the situation, you just press the 2K on the assumption that DP doesn't happen. If a DP does happen, you're blocking the air and the 2K input just doesn't happen. because you're blocked in the air, right?
Right, because you're holding back. Yeah.
Yeah. So blocks then ends up taking priority over this because you are currently mid-air and can't do it. This obviously is a bit problematic if that prevents doing an overhead, but it means that for the mix-up, you only need to represent half of it as being unsafe to DP. So the other half is completely safe. So now if they're doing a DP, it's because they're predicting what you're about to do. And now you're making it really unsafe. The other thing is, it also means you can do a throw, because obviously to throw them, you've had to have already landed. So you can hold back as you land, and throw it. Again, if a DP came out, the throw cannot happen.
Whoa. Oh,
So
I
2K and
didn't know about the throw option.
Or
What?
anything after you land. So you can actually do literally anything that requires you to have already landed will OS the DP. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't have to. So if you block for a second, like you might remember one thing I quite like is this,
Yep.
like just like that. Because I'm timing the input as I land, I'm only dropping my guard after a DP would have had to have come out. This is assuming Oki, by the way. If it's just a raw bomb chocolat, you're getting smacked.
Right.
If
Yeah,
it's on Oki,
'cause it's-
you're blocking this.
Because it's what? It's
Yeah.
It's not minus or plus if it's not Oki, right? So it can just get punished.
Yeah, it's 0 on block on
Yeah.
landing. So, well, technically 0 as long as you don't press it. If you press like a JP, you're -3
Interesting.
because landing recovery changes. So that's why you have to press nothing before you land.
Oh.
Yeah, anything that requires you land will OS the DP by default. Similarly, if they burst early in the air, same deal. Sometimes I'm just like baiting for a reversal and then do a burst. I was like, alright, I guess I baited the burst now. Exact same situation. If actually, yeah, we can try that. So like, you could try to burst. Oh, so that was actually right as I landed because you did it. Because gold burst actually is slower, funny enough.
Interesting. Oh.
Yep.
What?
And I was
the
going for
hell?
2k there, but I couldn't 2k because you did a burst.
That's
Oh, I went for a throw and actually it's like... Okay.
and then you have the beta burst and you can just punish it. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So it forces the opponent to be mindful of when they burst. They can't just burst immediately. This isn't technically a strength because they can just learn to not do it on that timing. The point is you will catch people out for doing that. And you're still making them have to think more, which is still mental stacked. So, representing this at all times, just always hold back as you bomb on chocolat, as though you're charging an input, is a good idea. Obviously, don't be afraid to use your air options, but you will be able to represent this a lot. This is also why 2k is quite a low reward option, but it's a very safe option. Because you can always just end up on this, like on block, this is just a safe ender. And if it hits, you can just like loop back into the same situation. So that's the most common way in which you can deal with DPs. There are other ones. There's like a weird whiff Oki with this, where you whiff OS that. Well, yeah, I suppose more. The other thing I want to talk about is stagger pressure. So you've probably heard the term stagger pressure, right?
Yes.
So, as a general rule of thumb, what this refers to, it basically means not cancelling your string and instead just going back into a regular attack. So just, let's say I do close/2s and I run back in and start again. This is stagger pressure because I've staggered the timing of things, basically. I don't know if that's quite the reason for the naming, but it basically, this is stagger pressure. Is I'm not ending my string, I'm going in and you're scared when I might continue it. Because I might just do another Gatling and catch you.
Right.
Elfelt has admittedly quite bad stagger pressure, mostly because it's a stupid pushback. So if someone's FDing, you just kind of lose your pressure really quickly, and they're all crazy minus, so you can't stagger pressure off your 5H as much as I wish you could. If you do manage to stagger into a throw after a 5H, please send me a clip of that, because that is hilarious. Because I have done it once, and I wish I kept a video of it. Like, you're quite minus, it's difficult to stagger pressure. Most of your stagger pressure is going to be off your close slash doing this. It can also exist off your 2K, so you can just do, 2K, 2K. So, you're checking for a response. You can also do it with your 2P. Because you could be doing a delay 2P, or a fast 2P, or you can do a 2P dash up 2P, right? So you have variable timings. And if they're just pressing into it, they don't know if they're going to get counter hit or not. The reason this is good against DPs is DPs are usually used to prevent you doing a cancel. So if they want to do like a DP to stop you doing like a 2A, 2S, 2H, they have to do it pretty fast, right? So if I just do 2S and then I have to run back in, by the time I run back in, they've already done a DP and failed. They've already whipped. So if I'm being allowed to run in, I already know they've almost certainly not done a DP. Unless they're doing a delayed DP, in which case they're madmen. And if they're doing a delayed DP, then God help them, because they're gonna get killed by a lot of things for that. So DPs are generally a way to catch you for just like going into your Gatling as a frame trap. But they don't present a long window of opportunity, so if you stagger your pressure, you might just find that you can actually, you might just catch DPs incidentally by just presenting the threat.
Interesting, okay.
Especially from moves like 2S, where you're quite far away, so a DP at this range just straight up whiffs.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking you're going to do a 5H or 2H, both of which will get hit because extended hurt boxes or moving forward. But obviously 2S, I'm not really in range for very long, so generally I'm quite safe in DPs.
Interesting. Merlin asked
There's
if
also-
Elfo gets anything off counter hit 2P.
Yes, 2K 2D. So you
Okay.
can also go into
Easy.
close slash if you're very gamer.
Oh my god.
So there is actually a combo off like counter hit 2P into close slash. The problem there is you need to be quite close for it to work. But on further ranges, 2K 2D is quite nice. That's my go-to, because I kind of hate her 2P confirm without counter hit. It's like this, but it's just, yeah. It's so easy for her 6P to whiff. It doesn't have as much horizontal range as it looks like, and her 2P tends to push them out. Like, and there's a lot of ways in which I've found the 2P just hits and then the 6P whiffs immediately after. So I've stopped doing that confirm at all. And I treat it as though 2P is on its own an RPS, where if it counter hits, it just happens that 2K2D combos. Does that make sense? Like, but yeah, she does little things like that. So where was it? So stagger pressure is the other thing. Stagger pressure tends to be quite good against DPs, especially once you get used to like dash blocking. So what I'm actually doing is I'm dashing and like I'm holding back as I dash. You might be able to see my inputs. So
Yeah.
yes, I dash in a second, but I'm blocking for a moment. And there's a potential that I run in and block a DP because I'm just waiting until I'm in range to then do something else. So I'm like doing,
Ah.
so like I'll do a 2S
Yeah,
and then I'll
I
run
see.
back in.
Yep.
There's a brief moment where I'm actually blocking. It's not
Yep.
super vital you do that, but once you get used to it, it does mean DPs become pretty unsafe against stagger pressure. It's also to make... The other thing I was saying, remember how I said about how like 63 motions make it hard for people to respond?
Yeah.
Stagger pressure is really good at making people lose rhythm with you. So while 2K 2D is not that good, like this objectively is a weak string. There's a massive gap, and then there's another gap into your 2K 2D, right? This is not a crazy string. It hits a lot more than you'd think, because what you're actually doing is people see 2K 2D and think, okay, block twice, right? And then maybe do like a 6 or something.
Ah.
You've done a second 2K, which means you've kind of offset them by one hit, and now their brain will naturally tell them to 6p when you're doing a 2D. Like they'd say 2K 2D, now they 6p. 2K, now they 6p. Oh no, they got counter hit. Same thing with DPs. They might create a situation where they expect to be able to DP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's all.
I was hitting 6p there just to do that example, but yeah. No, that makes sense.
No, but that's the thing that does happen a lot, because stagger pressure breaks the rhythm in a very effective way. So, and yeah, sometimes you'll just trip people up because they don't expect to block low again. So while it isn't like it's unreactable, and it isn't a strong hit, it's enough to change the rhythm that people will lose track of their options. And because DP requires them to let go of blocking and start doing that 63 motion, that becomes a lot harder to do when you've lost the rhythm. They can't easily remember to do it in that moment because they normally are doing it predictively. Or it's semi-prediction, semi-reaction. But as long as you disrupt some of that, it's still effective, right?
Interesting.
So, yeah, this is where like fighting games gets really weird, is you do kind of play into the human element a bit of humans are pretty faulty. In theory, I mean, like, this is an example that's always stuck out to me. You know Jacko 2K?
Yeah.
Pretty universally, unless Jacko is at her absolute max spacing, everyone can just press 2K in response, and that's one of the strongest defensive options they have. Because the only way she can frame trap you is to hit a frame perfect Gatling delay. So
Jesus
there is almost
Christ.
no threat to just pressing 2K when Jacko makes you block her 2K. The issue is, no one is ready for it. And she can stagger the timing on her attacks so you're not ready for it ever. So it's like, in theory it should be easy to defend from, but it's not. And the same deal here. And it's also why you'll see like high players love to do their 2P, because it's very easy for them, it's very safe. Like they have a 2P, 2P, 6P diet clut as a whole string. So they just need to make you get hit by a 2P, which is a very easy thing to do in this kind of situation. Because you're having to guess on times. And like this is pretty brutal, right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive.
Once you get used to like just micro dash 2P, this is really annoying. So that's the other thing, is like DPs in general just lose the stagger pressure, and as you get used to stagger pressure, you'll find that you can disrupt people quite a lot defensively. But you don't need a complex like checkmate to force them out of their DP. Sometimes you can just make them unprepared, and the DP either comes out at a bad time that just it fails because they whiff, or you make them feel uncomfortable performing the input, so they just don't DP even if they could have.
Interesting.
Which you might notice has a bit of an overlap with what we're talking about in neutral, where shimmying in neutral makes them a bit unsure about what's coming up, so they become less responsive to when you suddenly do a 2H. Breaking the rhythm and like being ambiguous and such is a big part of fighting games, because it allows you to operate with seemingly weak options that normally shouldn't work, because you don't represent it all the time, because there is inconsistency of when it comes up.
Interesting.
It's why you can use things like Bomb Chocolat, a frame 29 mid, and still have it be a mix-up, because this move never stops being relevant, and it's very hard to avoid getting mental stacked enough that the thing won't hit. I got Bomb Chocolat. Let me just check my notes, so I did write down a couple things. So, I mentioned before about how you don't need to be too afraid of certain pokes in neutral, right? blocking is fine in this game. There are situations that are spooky, and if the person is really being aggressive to set up pressure, you do need to respond into that. But in general, it's okay to block. A problem I noticed you had, especially against Chip, actually, against who was that?
Probably L Pug.
Yep, L Pug boy. You had a really awkward problem where you would actually burst for blocking a move that is pretty terrible on block. And you basically refused to let yourself block if you had burst. And that's the problem, because you're basically just saying, I'm just going to throw out burst. Like, there would be a point where they just do a JH in just like this, and that's enough to make you use burst. You're basically, like, once every other round the resource is fully spent because you blocked a JH. Or one of them was you actually did it on blocking Rokusai, which is his Rekka low. That is minus on hit, and doesn't combo properly.
Oh!
Like, the only frame trap it has is Senshu, which is death on block, and I'm pretty sure it only isn't it like it only comes on crouch hit, or was that changed? I can't remember now. So Rokusai on hit is not great. Like, it's objectively not that good on hit. You did it on block. And it's like minus 10 or something silly. I can't remember. No, it's minus 7, isn't it? 7. So you're so scared of basically blocking pressure that you're actually bursting when the opponent is already in a weaker position. Right? Burst is a pretty precious resource. The main thing it's good for is getting out of these like death combos. Because that's a lot of punishment. But you want to burst on this, right? Because each of these are much lower value. They're not as painful, they don't set up anything nearly as scary. I mean, maybe it's not true, sort of nailed it buffs, but like, it's still a lot weaker situation than, oh, I've been hit by a massive counter hail sign.
Right.
And blocking a move is even less of a threat, because there's a chance that they're actually about the ones that get hit. You can always hold on to your burst during a block string. If you get hit, then burst, right? Yes, it can be sometimes a bit obvious, but that's just kind of the RPS of burst in combos in general. Baiting burst is quite difficult for people to do. Some moves make it almost impossible to bait burst. So you can always hold on to your burst to after you've been punished, not before. Is that clear?
Yep.
Cool. The other thing is, you could also be using Deflect Shield. It costs half as much burst, and it basically does what you wanted on block. Because if I'm about to run some kind of mix-up and you're really scared of that, you could just Deflect Shield the next hit. It costs you half as much burst, and actually it can be kind of rewarding. Like, say you were to deflect. I mean, this is actually a bad. I don't like people using Deflect Shield against Chain Lollipop. I think it's kind of a bad use of it. But you could imagine if someone's really scared of this Chain Lollipop, just Deflect Shield it, right? Like, it pushes out a lot more and it takes away a lot of the threat.
Yeah,
because
because
really,
really,
you block something. But all right.
really, the only option is the low after it gets deflect shielded. You know?
Well, not entirely. Obviously, there's a Dash Kara Bonbon Chocolat, which is hilarious. I wish I could do it. Why am I so bad at my timings today? There we go. It's because I'm rusty. But in general, yes. Deflect Shield pushes out a lot of options, and it takes away most mix-ups. There is really not much they can do. And in a lot of cases, I mean, even something like /5D, you Deflect Shield, and now they're on the other side of the screen whiffing a normal. And you open an opportunity for yourself. Whereas,
Oh my god.
Yeah. Or sometimes you might do it on like the close dash itself, right? Like say you do like that. In fact, that did happen in one of your sets. You actually did do a deflect, and then they just whiffed this at this range. You create an opening for yourself when that happens. Elba's actually pretty alright with it because she has pretty big normals. So
Right.
she can deflect and just go, alright, I'm just gonna swing into you now. So that's if you do want to use deflect, I'd say don't be too hasty to use it. Your burst is a precious resource. As much as people meme on Wild Assault being so crazy and easy to use, it's still precious resources.
Right.
And you will be punished for wasting it. Quite significantly punished actually, because if you lose that round, that gauge ain't refilling.
Yeah.
This gauge I'm pointing out, yeah, that's not coming back. You have to get hit for a while, and you can actually lose your entire health bar without getting a burst gauge back. So don't waste your burst for no reason. But it's also just like about being confident on defense. You only use burst if you're really sure that this is a situation that you have to get out of. And it's not bad if you don't use burst, is my hot take on this. If you have to get chipped down by 20 hits in a row, and they constantly think you could burst, you could turn it around with a Wild Assault, you could deflect shield me, your burst is probably doing you more good in like being held than it is being spent. Because Wild Assault is also your comeback mechanic. If you're losing the round, you can stay holding your burst gauge. If you lose the round, you keep your burst gauge. If you find the turnaround, you can use that Wild Assault to swing it around and try and steal it back. When you burst, you actually deny yourself the ability to use Wild Assault. Your offense is now going to be weaker. Your coverage on things like 2H is going to be worse. You have a lot more to lose unless you really made it worth it, right? This is why generally you only spend burst when you've been hit into some massive counter hit, where it's obvious that this is a big value trade. Or big counter hit that like gives them Oki and a massive combo or something, right? Like getting hit by Elfo, 2H on counter hit. That's a good time to use burst. Because this thing is death on hit, basically. Great time to use burst is here. Yeah, that's a good time to use burst, because you already know that there is zero chance you are not taking a huge amount of damage and getting blasted through the wall into your bomb minute. So bursting is good in that situation. Bursting because you blocked a JH or like blocked something kind of unsafe. Like down low, for example, you don't want to burst because you blocked this wrecker low, would you? Like, yeah, it's technically a mix-up in a way, because I might do a reset, or I might do a nailed it frame trap or something. But why not just like play into the RPS of it, right? They have a lot to lose, as do you. It's not actually a situation you've improved. A way that might help think about this, if it helps at all, is when you burst, you have mostly set yourself to a situation where you are in a slightly worse position than your opponent. It's a little bit different if it's in the corner. You become advantaged. But in neutral, your burst is in a slightly weaker position because now you've lost your burst gauge, the opponent hasn't. If the difference between the situation you're currently in and the situation you'll be in after a burst is not very different in terms of like the risk reward of it, then the burst hasn't given you much benefit. Blocking this wrecker low is a situation where you're still having to make a guess, but you're not in a significantly losing situation. It's like it's an okay, slightly disadvantaged situation. So when you burst, you are not improving the situation significantly. When you've been hit by something like this, the situation is pretty terrible. And the situation of spending your burst is going from a very, very terrible situation to slightly mediocre but fine situation, which is a pretty big difference. So it's a lot of value. So it's about the amount of value it changes from the situation you're in, rather than necessarily the fact that burst makes you safe. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So that's just like getting used to that. What was the other note I had this? Okay, so basically it's just like let yourself block more and play into the RPS a bit more. The other thing, actually, this is on the reverse. Your knockdowns on Oki, some of it you actually just don't bother with Oki. There are times where you're hitting this and you literally just don't hit the opponent. You just let them be. There are times you're scoring like knockdowns and you just backdash away from them.
I shouldn't do that.
Probably not, no. I understand why it can be, because sometimes you might not expect to get hit. So the problem you're actually having is you are only taking offense when you seem very confident that you know the offensive situation. Like, okay, you know this, so you feel fine to just send it, right? Like, you seem to work fine when you have that hard knockdown, you know you're OP, and you're going to bully people. But when you get a weaker Oki like this, you seem to respond with hesitance. So you just sort of jump away from them. The two things I've seen you do was you hit an aerial fast slash, like this caught them mid-air, I think because they did a backdash or something, and then you whiffed your out of repair. The funny thing is, because of that knockdown, you were still very advantaged. Like, the fast slash into just whiffing one of these was still very plus, but your response was to backdash away from your own advantage. Most times in Strive, if you whiff an attack during a combo, you're probably still plus, because there is still a knockdown happening. Trying to think of an example I can use with Elfelt. Probably... no... Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can whiff this, and oh, never mind, I'm still plus. Right. No, I can't think of a good example, I'm sorry. Oh no, I know a good example. No, I don't. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know, you do this. Like that, right? I've whiffed my backup, but I still have plus frames. This is still okay. You can whiff a move and usually keep some kind of Oki's at it. This is true of most characters in most situations, unless they whiff something truly terrible. With a massive, like, knockdown, or like it's meant to hit incredibly late into a launch, so it's clear that by the time it's recovered, they don't have time to follow up in any way. But in a lot of situations, you probably can take some kind of OK, which is worth keeping in mind. Yeah, Abba's 6H can be funny in that regard, because it has a very long animation. The other thing I saw you do, this is actually quite common, was you hit this, right? You hit this raw hit, and your response, I think 3 times I saw, was immediately double jump. So the opponent, you're doing this. And I'm not actually sure why. Can you explain that to me?
I wish I could.
Like, you're doing this as, like, your default response. Which, I already explained why I think double jump into just air fireball is a problem. But you're doing it as an Oki. Like, you're doing the double jump before they've even stood up. And I'm not quite sure why. Because you're not jumping forward like this. And you could just run forward and hit them. So that is something you'll kind of want to be, is just a little more confident in your weak Okis, I know. These, like, soft knockdown is the term. Is it an investigator if they're the ones sending me the videos? Like, in general, if you have these weaker situations, your 2S is a really nice move to go for. It hits pretty far, it's active for a while, so it's easy to time it. It can actually catch backdashes, it hits high enough to do that, and it's got quite nice range. In general, it's not difficult to hit a 2S. Even from things like out of repair, like this is very easy to hit. Your air throw has like a really rubbish knockdown. You can still run up 2S, right? In fact, this is still a 2S situation.
Huh.
So even if you don't have that hard knockdown, you can still run forward and 2S them. You may not necessarily hit them on wake up, but you'll hit them early enough that they can't really do much else. You can also use 2H. 2H works fine as well. Actually, 2H is quite deceptively good for that job. So 2S and 2H are both perfectly fine that way. And it's good to keep them in. You don't want to just like give up because you don't have the exact situation you want, because you can play into the strengths of what you have. Oh gosh, we've been going for nearly 2 hours. Gone a bit carried away. You're right there, you've been quiet for a little while.
I've been listening. I'm listening and
Okay.
observing.
Fair enough. That covers most of the things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, I'll send a bit of a summary later as last time. But did you have any questions or an explanation for any of these things?
I think I will recheck the VOD and summary after we get through
Okay.
everything. And if I have questions then, it'd be good. Because some of this is just circling in my head, and as I do matches, like last time it took me a day or two and then I started getting it. So as I do matches, it'll start clicking. And as it starts clicking, it'll make more and more sense as I go.
Right. I would actually... Initially, I actually expected to kind of comment more on your combos. And while there is a lot of things I think is wrong with doing this, because this is the thing you did a couple times, I don't think combos were necessarily the main issue long term, because you'll get used to... Combos are more memorization, and I'm sure you'll look those up if you want. Oh yeah, we completely skipped on like the whole 6H question. I'm sorry. Yeah, we only pretty much covered like neutral and offense basically. I suppose just a very quick go of that, because it's kind of, I do want to stop soon, it's been going for a while, is just, the main difference is combo scaling. So if it's quite early into a combo, like here, you can do, oh, if I do it properly, like you can still get it.
Whoa!
If you do something like a Roman cancel, you can always go for 6H basically. It has to be like pretty late to not be able to use Float Slash, because then you see it goes too far. If it is very late, you can still do a dash up first and get that.
Oh wow!
So, like Roman cancel basically guarantees you're going to be able to get a 6H. If it's early enough, you can do close slash 6H. The main thing to look out for is just how late into a combo you are. That's the only real factor you need to worry about. The other thing is, I know you've been saying like, how do I know when to use 2S? Like, if it helps keep it simple, don't worry about 2S, just do 2H. Close slash 2H is basically guaranteed to work on pretty much any combo. And this is fine. As an ender, like, this is... Like, you can do this. And this still works fine. You're not actually losing much by skipping 2S. It makes it easier, in my opinion, and I think there's a lot of... And there's some combos where it's optimal, but if it's easier, you can just do that. And that's totally fine. I will quickly explain also a bit on the nerdy math, if you're wondering how it works. There's a mechanic called combo decay, which is the system that handles how combo scaling works. It doesn't affect damage, it's the system that handles like gravity and such. Well, most people call it gravity scaling, but I consider that a bad name because it actually doesn't affect gravity until an obscenely high scaling. That most combos actually have no change to the gravity whatsoever. It's more like it weakens the launch. So it sends less high, but it sends more further outward. Is what happens. So if I do a move like 6P, this move has uniquely high combo decay, so this suddenly becomes a lot worse on hit. You might notice how this 6H sends really far away.
Yeah.
That's because the 6P is massively scaling the combo. This only happens when 6P starter is, I think, a mechanic to make 6P a bad combo starter for characters that have ways to combo off it. But it feels like a close slash. You'll see how they stay a lot closer.
Right.
As a general rule of thumb, every move scales by the same amount, which is 5. So it's rule 5, this is 5, this is 5, everything here is 5. The exceptions are some moves scale by more if they're starter. So lows have 10, so they just scale by 1 extra hit worth.
Okay.
Highs scale by 10, so they also just add an extra 1. And projectiles scale by an extra 10. Sorry, an extra 5. So they just all add like essentially +1 to the number of hits. The other thing to keep in mind is anything that has like extra damage scaling, so Bomb and Chocolat for example, also increases this faster even mid-combo. So Bomb and Chocolat on the initial hit counts as 3 and mid-combo is essentially 2. So, but all other hits are basically just 1 each. So if I was to do something like this, all of those are exactly the same scaling, no difference.
Yeah.
Which means you can you can kind of simplify that close slash 2H 214S as well as 2H 214S are the same combo scaling. So if I was to red run and cancel off them, the combo route would be identical.
Interesting.
But if it was something like a 2K 2D 4K, this is just 1 extra hit, so slightly weaker combo scaling. That's kind of how it works.
Huh. Definitely include this in the notes that you send because
It's nerdy, so you
I
don't
will.
worry too much about
I
it.
actually want to know this. It's
Okay.
very niche, but that I have a
One-
tendency to remember things like that, and so it actually
Okay.
may help me with combos because I will know how they scale.
I will say, because a character like Nagori Yuki, for example, right? He has very powerful combo tools, where as long as he has a resource, he can just keep comboing. Because he can pretty much always go into his tools, I know Nagori Yuki community super loves knowing combo decay stuff. Because it's basically the only thing that determines if they can or cannot use any route at all.
Wow.
Pretty much, which is like they will know if they can do something based on just, hey, what's the combo okay on this hit? Ah, okay, now we know we can do this. Makes sense. For Elfode, it's relatively simple. 6H, 214H, I think it's like once you get to, close slash 6H, 214H, I believe it stops working at 20? So that'd be something like, oops.
See, that
time.
math is actually really good to know because in off-stream time or something, I can route combos. I know there's obviously Dust Loop exists, so it makes it easier, but if I'm just in a match, I can easily route combos in my head based on numerical value. So if I know that value, I know when to go into close slash 2H as opposed to close slash 6H because I will have the math in my head. This is actually one of the wildest things
so
to
this
know.
is 50. So this is 50.
5, yeah.
Specific to Bomb Bomb Chocolat, this is 50.
15?
And yeah, because it's 5 initial because it's an extra scaling move and 10 mid combo.
Okay.
And that's just a universal thing of anything that has this like extra damage scaling.
Right.
So it also applies to things like Kai Fudra Arc or I think actually what drawing a blank now. There's a lot. Like every character usually has at least one of these, which is just sort of an extra scaling move. So instant first hit it's 15. If it's the second hit, it's 10. Right. So if I do this, you'll see how that comes to 20. Red Roman cancel by the way is 0. Like Red Roman cancel just is completely separate from all of this. It ignores it.
Right.
So that's 20. So now this will fail.
Yo!
But if it's 15, this will not fail if I have Momentum.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, it clicks. Yeah, that's right.
See?
Yeah, yeah.
Now
yeah.
it's at 20.
So,
that
see,
could not work, basically.
So that makes sense. See, to
Which
me that makes
means
sense because I only need to add in my
we-
head to 20. Because then
If
once
we
it hits
apply the
20, it's
same
never gonna work.
logic, this should work.
So when
Because
you read
that was 1, 2, 3. That's 15. But if I was
Right.
to do 1, 2, 3, 4,
14, or yeah, that's 20. So it's not gonna work. Right.
see?
Yo,
So now-
wait, that's so fucking cool. Forgive the
so
language.
there's a
That's sick.
standardization to how scaling works in this game. And basically that's what determines if you can 6H bomb on the clock.
And just so Bomb Chocolat, if it gets the hit, is 15, right?
Only if it's the first hit.
Only if it's the
I-
first. If it's second, it's 10, or subsequent.
Yeah, so as an example, this.
So that
hopeless
would
hit,
be. I was gonna say that'd be
because that's
15.
5 plus 10.
Right. So that'd be 15. So then if you hit any other move after that, you're reaching the 20 limit. So the next one won't work. Yeah.
So this is the. Well, it said 15 for the close dash itself, so this will work if you have momentum.
All right. So momentum throws a little bit of a wrench into the basic math.
Well, yeah, it's at 10 you can do it standing. At 15 you need a bit of momentum. At 20 it's almost certainly going to fail.
Okay, that is good to know. That is really good to know. This makes sense to me now.
I'm surprised that's actually an easier way of thinking about it.
That
Okay.
actually makes it easier for me to understand how combo scaling works. That's fascinating.
So, command, it's not the 6H that actually is the problem. 6H can hit much later scaling.
Uh-huh.
The problem... Sorry, I was answering someone in the chat. They said,
Yeah.
I'll keep 6Hing and it whips. The problem... 6H actually works at a later scaling. The problem is you'll have no way to combo after it.
After
so the
it,
6H
yeah.
just ends the combo. Which is
Right,
bad.
right.
The only time it won't, obviously, is if you're in the corner. Because when you're in the corner, they can't fall out of range. Like,
Right.
It's just impossible. So the whole this is like rule plays a little differently in the corner
Right.
because we could have bomb and chocolat. Let me try and think of a combo. Right. See, that still worked because we're in the corner.
Yep.
So that kind of defeats something. Then that's what makes the wall quite nice for combos.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because, like, my issue never was the 6H whiffing. It was that I would do the 6H and couldn't bomb on Chocolat because I hit the 20 limit. So instead, instead of doing the 6H, I should have just went for close slash. So yeah, if you're at
And you'll see that's also why 6P Red Roman Cancel does not work. Because 6P is 25 on initial hit.
Oh shit, okay.
They
wow.
really do not want you combo. It's 5 mid combo like it's a regular hit. It's just if it's a starter, it's 25. Specifically only 6P. They really do not want you using 6P for this.
Interesting. Alright, so basically just to confirm so I have it in my head, if
Okay,
you
sure.
get like if you get 6H, so if it's 6H bomb bomb,
6H.
that's 15. When you land in close slash, that becomes 20, so you cannot
Yes.
do the bomb bomb again. Because if you
No,
do the
you
close slash,
Because we're talking about 15 for the close slash itself.
right? Okay, so it's 15 when you hit the close slash. So, right? Yep.
With
Okay.
momentum, yeah.
But if it was like, I don't know, if it was close slash 2S 2H, well, no, that would make sense because then it keeps going. Yeah, because that's 20. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that fails
Right.
because the 2H doesn't have enough vertical walls. Like, this just doesn't combo.
Right. Yeah, definitely include the numbers in there because I'm just gonna do calculations on my own to get used to the mental math of it. so that way I don't ever have to question
So-
what to do next.
It's also just kind of why I find Hereka slightly amusing, because you might know this is an optimal. Like,
Yeah,
Flash,
That's
right?
that's
This
such
is
a
the
wild
only
combo.
combo in which this is an option. And the reason it is because this is the only scaling, like it has to be at this very specific amount of scaling, where you can't get the third hit, but you can get this.
And it's
if
at that
if it's any
specific
higher,
range.
the 2K fails. And if it's any lower, you can just do a third one of these. And it's the only string that makes this happen.
That's whack.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny that's the only like string she has where that's an optimal. And I find that kind of well. I think actually she does have a kind of funny one. I remember now.
Oh my god. That's crazy. I feel like, I don't know, I was in some sort of fucking math class and my teacher just explained a theory and I was like, well, yeah, no, that makes sense. That's really cool. The other thing, don't explain it. I mean, if you wanted to, you can, but I don't want to overload myself right now. But also, in that note, if you want to include how wall scaling works for when it's a wall stick, that would also be good. Because
Cool. That's actually
I've had a
okay.
few
It's
instances where I've
simultaneously
had
a
it.
confusing as hell system and a really simple system. It's just a number that every move adds 300 to, and if it goes past 3,000, then it breaks the wall.
So every
That's all
move
it
that
is.
hits on the wall adds 300.
Well, some are specifically 700 or 500. Like 6H
Okay.
increases the wall damage or higher, this one is more. But the standard is 300. The thing that makes it weird is that this persists, and it's also dependent on where you are in the arena. Like, if we just stay here, and we just like keep bopping each other, and we don't leave the center of the arena, that wall can never go more than 50% damaged.
Oh, so the wall gets damaged when we're not on the wall.
Yes. In fact, both walls get damaged, because it's literally tied to your character, not the wall. So,
Oh,
you're being
whoa.
damaged into a wall break right now.
Oh my god. So that's okay. So if we just
Yeah.
keep whacking each other, we're sticking at 1500. It's only once we touch the wall that it gets above 1500.
Pretty much, yeah. You have to get within, like, I think it's...
So-
if I stand, I have to be around here before it starts actually doing it.
So that's why it's optimal if you're getting close to the wall to do the low hit on the Rekka as opposed to the overhead, because the overhead's 3 hits. So that's
Okay, so
900,
multi-hits split across each other. For all, like, scaling purposes, multi-hits basically split it across the hits.
so that's 100, 100, 100.
Yes, exactly. The reason why
But
it's
if you,
optimal
but I'm
is
assuming
because
it's,
this just is higher damage in
Right.
those situations.
but I'm saying like if you get them on the wall, say we're at the 1500 limit and then I hit you into the wall. If I did the overhead and that was enough to hit the 3000, it would wall break on like the second hit. Whereas if I did the low, it would still allow me to
that's
shotgun
the thing that
ender.
can definitely happen.
Because I've had that happen a couple times. So that's why I should just
Yeah.
prioritize the low. Really, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the overhead is solely a mix-up option, but it should never be priority. Like if I'm mid-combo and I go into Rekka, I should always go for the low. Like if I'm already hitting them, say it's after the 2S.
If it's a combo, yes.
Yeah,
I would
if
say
it's a
low
combo.
is pretty much. The only real benefit of the overhead is there's two situations. The first is there are some very niche routes, like 6H side switches. I think there's an optimization I had.
Okay.
Which uses this because it breaks the wall a little faster.
Okay.
Due to another wall mechanic I won't get into right now, this technically does like it's like 20 more damage to the wall. And it's such a tiny amount, but there's a situation where it can matter. The other thing is also it keeps them a little bit closer, so in some niche situations this can avoid touching the wall. Again, this is some super specific combo theory. And lastly, on knockdowns, it keeps them from going as far. So if I do this, you will stay closer to me than if I do this.
Huh.
So if you like this safe jump, or you want to run in, it's better to end on the high to keep them closer. because you'll see how it's just way closer now.
Right.
That's the benefit. It's a little
Right.
bit less, see you just a little bit further. I would say in general the low is very safe as an option though. So if you're ever unsure, just stick the low.
Yeah, because the other
works
thing,
so much more consistently. It's better damage. It's just better. in
it
most
punishes
situations.
deflect shield too. At least in my experience, it can because it
Well,
closes
we're
the
talking
gap
combos.
too.
If we're talking pressure, I actually think it's a very different situation. I think this is actually a really good option on pressure.
Well,
But-
yeah. In combo, stick with the low. And then if I'm going into pressure, that's when, because like, yeah, when you're in the combo, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. Well, in a combo, down low is just 99% of the time better. There are some very niche situations where the high is actually optimal, but it's like, if you're still learning elbow combo theory, I'd say don't worry about it, just stick to the low and you'll be fine most of the time. But in pressure, there are definitely a lot of reasons to like the overhead. In fact, I like the overhead a lot more than the low, in my experience. The auto time frame trap is an absolute boon. It covers a lot of things. It allows a lot of people to prevent a lot of people getting out of the mix-up as easily, because a lot of them want to prevent you doing a reset. It also makes hit confirming a breeze. It's just so much easier to hit confirm.
Right. Yeah, that's
Whereas
the. I mean, that's the
this
easy
actually
option for
is
the
kind of
Karas.
tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, this actually does make it easy to hit confirm off both because this thing is so fast. But overhead just means it's a breeze to hit confirm, and I love it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You can also do some really nasty schmick.
That's messed up. That's
is,
disgusting.
yeah.
That's really
Although-
gross.
I will say for the finisher one, like the second mix-up, the low is the one I prefer over the overhead. Because you can
Yeah,
do
to
some pretty
finish.
gross
Yeah.
nonsense. If you block a second for me.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah, the low finisher has a kick of momentum, so if you do this, like, up and then FRC into a whiff JP, she will cross up. If
Whoa.
it hits, you can do a JK and combo from there, and if they're blocked, then you do a JS and you get a cross up mix up.
That's nasty.
It also hits low enough that if they 6p, they get counter hit, and if they somehow do a reverse DP, you safe jump them.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's my favourite tech with Chain Lollipop. It's just that, and I've only hit it like one time because most people just hit it before I could do it. But I love it.
Wow.
So it's definitely like, it's not actually a true 50-50. That's a weird thing. A lot of people don't realize it is a weighted 50-50.
Yeah.
There are reasons to like overhead and there are reasons to like low, even
Yeah.
outside of the high-low mix. Like you said, this is good against deflect shield because it covers a lot more distance. You can also delay it to catch people trying to press something.
Yeah.
This is a natural frame trap on crouch blocking, so it's really good at like preventing people just pressing against a potential reset.
Right.
So if you do like this and they think, oh, you're gonna reset, then whoop, nope, frame trap. So it's both a mix-up and a frame trap, which kind of covers more of the RPS at once. The low has a way to OS against reversals with OS and Junko, so that's fun.
Interesting.
Like there's a lot of like slight differences, and it will mean you're not playing a true 50-50, it's a slightly weighted 50-50.
Yeah, and I know, I mean, it is technically a 50-50, but I always find it funny that, you know, people are like, well, it's a 50-50, because you also have a grab option, so...
It's also not
It-
really a true 50-50 in a lot of other respects, I think, but
Yeah,
this game actually, I would say Strive in general, is really careful to avoid true 50-50s. There's very few of them in the game. Even ones that feel like they would be, tend not to be. This is probably pretty close to it, but it's still not a true 50-50.
right.
There is very little of that. I think the only like true 50-50 in the game is Nagara Yuki's mix, funny enough. And he still has to like manually time the low to get it.
Would Arbiter's Sign not be considered a true 50-50?
No, the overhead is 4 frames slower and reactable.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was 4 frames slower.
Yeah, the low is 24, the high is 28. It's also just plain reactable.
Huh.
Which I realize is maybe overstating like how easy it is to react to, but once you get used to it, it is totally reactable, most of them. The game doesn't like true 50-50s. I think that's just a design thing. They like there to be just a little incentive to sort of play into one option over the other and like find the balance between the two, which I think I appreciate. It's not just press which one you feel like on the day. It's which one do you think actually covers the situation more efficiently.
Yeah, I like that system too.
And it also gives a little room for some matchup specifics. Like you might know about how Giovanna can throw you out the overhead.
Yep.
That's what's funny.
Which is a little wild, but you know what? We don't need to talk about it.
Honestly, she needs it. The matchup is not actually that great for Giovanna, regardless.
Don't tell my boy Spoink that. He doesn't need to know that he can throw it to the overhead. I don't want him to know that.
This is our chance to advertise.
But then the players just do Wrecker S. Just watch them whip a throw for no reason.
I mean, that's just the mind games. Jeez.
Oh yes, the deep, rich mind games that I'm showing you right now.
Yeah, there was one match yesterday where I got on the other side of them while I was doing it, and I was just begging them to let me fly away. Let Elfelt go. She has places to be.
I love it because you can do that. So if you really want, you can like do some really goofy nonsense.
Goofy off character.
I also quite like chain off in neutral, but I know that's probably a slightly more advanced play in neutral. Like it's not a thing you want to do very much. But there are definitely situations you want to be doing this. I think.
Yeah.
Which, okay, this is not actually balanced anymore. I'm kind of getting a bit tired. We should probably call it quits on the coaching. So I just wanted to ramble, like, a lot of people complain about how she lost a lot of like her Exile identity with shotgun stance. I'm gonna be honest, I actually think she has the exact same thing going on in neutral as old shotgun stance did, because once you got Thermal Exile, from what I understand, it wasn't very good in neutral. Generally avoided it because it was niche at best, since you lost a lot of like good space control and movement when you go into shotgun stance. And I look at the stuff she can do, and it's like, this is just the same thing.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go into stars, fire my big H button.
Because what I'm thinking on that is it reminds me, I forget what the button is, because I was learning her on Exerve for a little bit, and I'm gonna get back into that, but she has, it's a low option, but she has a low where she comes up and then goes into the shotgun stance, and the timing is almost identical to the S starter.
Yeah, so she does like a little uppercut. I'm pretty sure it's a mid,
it's an
though.
uppercut
Pretty
and
sure
then
it is
into the
actually-
shotgun. I don't, yeah.
It's still a mid though, isn't it?
I
Pretty sure
think,
it is.
I do think it's a mid, but I think it's pretty much identical to the chain lollipop
Yeah,
starter.
it's basically
Like
the
it's
Wrecker starter
because the
reimagined.
shotgun in here, the shotgun is frame 1, right?
No, here it's well, in Exard, yes. Exard.
I know,
it's
in
frame
Exard it's
4,
frame-
but once it's fully charged, it becomes frame.
Ah,
In this,
right,
I
right,
believe
right.
it's frame 13. But you're doing a whiff cancel, so you're starting it kind of early.
Right, right.
So she doesn't actually have a whole lot of startup. This is pretty fast, to be honest. If you see her just start this, you have to immediately be afraid of this thing happening.
Yeah.
I mean, also just the ability to do whiff cancel is kind of weird. She can do a lot of weird stuff with this.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, one thing that's kind of sad is losing combat roll.
Yeah,
Just
no, the
having
combat
everyone
roll
do
was
a
very
combat
fun.
roll in their face and just like, yeah, here's a shotgun now. It's just so cute. I love it.
Yeah, I like
Also, the ability
that.
to hold shotgun while crouching, because I
Yep.
just think that looks adorable.
That was fun. Yeah, Chaos stole our combat roll. Never forget what he took from us.
It is so funny that some parts of Elfo got moved to Chaos.
Also, I do think that Out of Repair is not as good of an option in this game because,
As Bridal Express.
yeah, because Bridal
it's
Express
a bit
was
different.
genuinely really freaking good. So
Was
I
it a
think
hard knockdown? It was pretty sure it was a hard knockdown. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and you
Why
can
it was,
use it
like,
in the
crazy.
you can use it in the air too. Like
Yeah, she had like a downward.
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
a bit niche, but yeah. I think if you gave this thing hard knockdown, it would actually be kind of insane.
also her pine berry was absolutely crazy. Everything about Elfeld's, I mean, one of the best characters in Exard, but you know.
You know, the biggest bit of Elfelt propaganda is that everyone calls it Pineberry, but it's actually called Berry Pine.
What?
Yeah, it's not called Pineberry anywhere in the game. It's called Berry Pine.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's just because Pineberry just sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But it is just kind of funny to me that everyone always says it as Pineberry. No one ever realizes it's Berry Pine. I quite like Pineberry, but it's also... I don't know. I think Bomb Shocker is honestly my favourite move in the entirety of Stride. I can't be upset with this. This is amazing. I love it. If someone calls this move lame, they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no soul.
Merlin's got one more question, he said.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it.
Was that in the chat? I didn't see it.
It's in YouTube chat.
Oh,
Merlin
alright,
Merlin
you do,
swaps between both. I do co-stream on
thank you.
both, which is fun.
Apparently, I'm much cooler than you.
Wow.
How do you rate this assessment?
Disco switching from my chat to yours, even though it's a shared chat, just to say that is wild. Actually crazy.
Oh yeah, because
That's actually so funny.
although you realise if you disagree, you are very much saying that you think you're cooler than me, which is very rude of you, onewise. You know, that hurts my feelings.
I mean, look, you are definitely a much cooler Elfel player. That's why I'm learning. All right, Merlin
what was the
asked, does Elfelt have good pressure with her dash block? She takes up space well with her fast dash, and she has good long buttons, so she has good
That's why I meant to
dash block
talk
pressure.
about earlier. I didn't get to it. It was dash blocking. We're gonna have to do one more of these, but I feel like it's something I didn't cover at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wouldn't be a bad
like,
idea to do another one.
Yeah, so Elva's got a pretty fast dash. Like, she
Right.
dashes pretty speedy. And one of the issues you were having was, like, I mentioned about blocking. One thing that you can do as Elfeld, instead of just standing still and just having to press, is you can dash as you block, and you can just close in on people without pressing anything. I'm not sure if you know much about that, but basically, when you begin a dash, even if you start blocking immediately, you still do this little slidey animation.
Oh, I see.
So you can block for the entire time you're moving forward. So when you're defending, in general, you can just kind of do, alright, I'm gonna be vulnerable for like a matter of frames at most, and I'm still closing in. It's an incredibly low commit away, and this is also how you deal with characters like Axel. Because if you're at this range, you can just press. Because you said you struggle with Axel, yeah, you can't press against Axel with his spacing. So what do? There. If he did press and he pushes you out, okay, you're back to the situation. Alright, you press, you get pushed back. Alright, press, you get pushed back. Alright, press, like, alright, boom. And he jumped over and killed him. Like,
There you go.
it forces them to cover you, just like slowly inching your way in. And if they ever whiff something, oh,
Then you immediately
I-
punish, yeah.
yeah, you hold back, and as soon as you react, you just run it. You can dash block a little bit and then go back in again. This is a very powerful tournament stride. I highly recommend afterwards, actually, in your own time, exploring a bit of dash blocking, because this is probably one of the most powerful movement options in the entirety of Stride, and it's also why people meme a bit on dashing in Stride compared to other Guilty Gear games, because this game makes dashing crazy safe. Zoning has to be so powerful to compensate for the fact that dash blocking exists, and this is like, it's basically it's the Dona's worst nightmare, is the characters that can run forward while defending with no commitment, zero commitment whatsoever. And for Elfo, that's really good because if she sees a whiff, she can respond very quickly with things like 5H and FS, so she can dash block, and if they whiff something, you can punch very quickly. She has a fast dash, so she can close in very quickly. It doesn't take her many dash blocks to get in. like this is just a very safe way to play neutral. This is what you do against people like Johnny and Axel and Testament. Though less so Testament, but zoners in general, dash blocking is a very good thing to be doing. Because you force them to have to do something about it. They can't keep you off forever, they have to slow you down. Dash block as well can be with crouch. Like, dash block with crouching is good. It doesn't look like much, it's subtle, but the fact that at this point you're almost never going to be able to hit me, even if you press right now, you're probably not going to hit me, makes this pretty safe, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, it's also ambiguous, because maybe I FD cancel and I actually step back a lot earlier than you expect, so I'm not sliding in, or maybe I'm just running in all the way. Or maybe I'm actually sliding in a fast slash, because, like I said, a little bit of momentum goes a long way with this move, so they can't tell if you're dash blocking or actually about to attack. As there's owner trying to keep you out, yeah, that's terrifying. As Axel, this is, if you don't know, Axel's Rensen is like 3 hits with like incredibly high pushback. Axel used to have it, so Rensen did not have more pushback than normal, like he just had a standard pushback amount for the move. This was back when Axel was like bottom tier, and Rensen was pretty rubbish, because at full screen, you could dash block, and you've gone through. And Rensen is no longer an option. Like, you could Rensen you once before Rensen is now no longer safe. So they've had to like times its pushback by like 5 to compensate for dash blocking existing, countering Rensen so hard. Like this move, like it doesn't look like much, but it is. But sadly, I think we don't have a whole lot of time, so you'll have to explore that on your own time a little bit, I think. But yes, good shout out on Merlin's part for pointing out that is a really good tool with Alpha. And there we go. Most characters get something out of it, but especially Alpha, I think, gets a lot. Alright, well, we should probably call it here. It is quite late for me. I do apologise.
It is indeed quite late for you. You should definitely get some sleep.
I have unfortunately not lost the British time zone yet. So you'll have to bear with that. And also been going for a while. I do think like retention for this stuff kind of goes down a bit after the first hour, so I've probably kind of overdone it a little bit. I'll send some summaries though, and if you do want anything else explained further in the future, just let me know.
I absolutely will. Yeah, I'm excited to rewatch, view the summaries, do math on combos to make sure I know, because that is so cool. So again, thank you so much. I mean, taking 2 hours and 22 minutes when it's now 5 a.m. your time is incredible, and the amount of improvement I've had from the first one that
Don't worry, I have nothing on tomorrow. I'll be sleeping until the afternoon.
God bless, God bless. Or should I say Boris Johnson bless?
Please don't. He does not need it.
Oh my god. Whoa, man. That is a lot of fun. Now I get to go do viewer matches and see what I implement. How good
fun,
did I
honestly. I do enjoy doing this.
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm good to fight all of you. This is awesome.
I'm sorry, Disco. I cannot interpret that sentence.
I don't.
Can you
I don't
explain what that?
Torture. Okay, he just
Oh,
missed. Okay, now it makes sense.
Poor thing, Brita. It was meant to be torturing Brits. Okay. Oh dear.
Gotta love it.
No, but I'm very glad that you enjoy it. I really enjoy doing this, and I'm glad it can be helpful, honestly.
It is. It is actually incredibly helpful. It's insane. So I'm excited to see over the next couple weeks how much my improvement grows just from session number 2. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, they've been quite far apart. I'd say a lot of the improvement will be on your own accord, though. It won't just be me doing it.
Well, luckily for me, I play this game almost every day, so I have the wherewithal to get the improvement. I just have to keep training and make sure I consult the notes.
I will say, Memelin, I assume that's how you pronounce it, Memelin.
Yeah.
I do occasionally play with people in the US, actually. I have surprisingly good connection to US folks. I mean, you might have saw the connection with OneWise there was actually pretty good. I'm quite lucky in that respect. So I do sometimes play Strive kind of late, so if you do want games, just let me know, and I'm happy to do that. I'm getting back into Strive, and I need to kind of just casually play some games to kind of get back into it. So yeah.
Yo, what is going on in East Coast Park 11? Who is... What is happening? But seriously, man, thank you so much for your time. This is awesome. I'm very thankful.
East Coast Park 11. Is that what's going on with it? Sorry.
I don't know. My game is having some silly moments right now.
Okay.
No, I think it's just my game being silly.
Yeah, I should also probably get going just because I'm kind of getting to the point of tiredness where I'm just going to end up rambling and then lose my train of thought. It's going to be really like just confusing and depressing to watch.
There we go. Now it's working.
Although, I mean, hopefully when we next do this, my voice will sound a bit different.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually going to be trying to practice on that. I will say it's... Have you tried it at all? Voice training?
Not yet. I haven't yet.
Okay. It's weirdly finicky. Like
I can only
you
imagine.
If you don't want me to send, if you want to try it out at all, I'll gladly send you all the resources I get.
Yeah, please do.
It's although actually also it's kind of fun as well because a lot of it is just learning to control your voice and like learn how your voice works. So it's kind of like you are trying to rebuild your voice and find that, but you can also just mess around with it because you start to learn how you can just make voices in general, and you also realize that you can do some pretty weird sounds quite easily. I also will answer any questions before I go. I am both transcend and non-binary. So my gender identity specifically is demigirl, which, if you aren't familiar, basically means half girl. So to an extent I identify femme, but not fully. So still non-binary, but still trans femme. So half and half.
Beautiful.
The other half, if you're wondering, is nothing.
British.
It is the British gender. Basically, I have only partial gender experience, so it's kind of partially agender, basically. So that's why it's demigirl is like partially half girl, half Brit. Exactly.
There you go. Absolutely beautifully put. Jeez. Let me pull this up.
Who's Fred Durst?
Lead singer of the band Limp Bizkit.
Oh. Weirdly. I'm not quite sure that would work for you, I'm going to be
I don't
entirely
think
honest.
it would. I gotta be honest.
I mean, you know, if that's your goals, then, you know, I'll support you.
Yeah, someone's got to get there, I guess. Oh man.
So what happens to sound like Fred Durst?
Yeah, you come back next time. Just quoting Limp Bizkit
Oh.
lyrics. Jesus. Yeah,
Also-
Merlin, I'll be in VC in a minute.
Also, it is funny. Like some of the stuff you have to do for voice training, you actually kind of have to get over laughing at yourself because you have to do some pretty silly stuff. Like one of the things I've been doing is training on trills. So you have to basically do like brrr noises. Like you have to do that a lot. So you just get used to that. And just making weird noises that will very occasionally make you go Mickey Mouse. While you try and figure out how to control your voice properly.
You gotta love it.
But it's fun.
God bless.
I think the biggest thing I've had recently actually with it is I've been learning about tongue position, and I've only basically I've been talking to someone and they told me I'm probably exaggerating the movement too much, And what it's doing is, because I'm over-exaggerating the tongue position, is I'm giving myself a lisp. So I'll do it, and I just speak with a lisp the entire time. Because I've got like my tongue basically halfway up my mouth. Because you're apparently meant to move very slightly, and I'm overdoing it, and so it's just blocking the airway.
Oh, you gotta love that.
This, to be clear, is like my natural resting voice. This is the voice I want to change at some point.
Right.
So this is, I mean, my voice can go a lot deeper, though apparently I've been told it sounds a bit more femme than most other people who are assigned male birth, so good starting place, I suppose. But, yeah. Oh, I'm rambling, I should really go. This is one when I'm tired, I just keep distracting myself. A bit of ADHD, unfortunately, causes issues. I'm also going to be getting ADHD medication in some months' time, so hell yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Alright, I'll head off now, but enjoy your evening and good luck with the games.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, Artemis. Or morning, whatever you want to call it. Take care.
Yeah, it's kind of getting that way, isn't it? Alright.
It is, it is.
Take care.
All right. Stream together ended. We're back to our regular chat. Disco, to answer your question before I get in matches, what was the issue with the files not loading? Because those are zip files. The actual files themselves, should I make a dry folder, or what's the issue with the files, Disco? Did he say? Just that they wouldn't open? Because I literally have them right here. They are properties. They're STL files. I can make a dry folder if that's easier, instead of the zip. Because I literally have them right here. Like all of them. If you're here, Disco. Or I can explain in VC if you join VC, but let me get in there.
Hello, onewise.
Okay, so for the files, do you want me to make a dry folder? Because they're all STL files. I just checked, and I have them all right here. So I can make a dry folder if the zip download didn't work.
Where did you get the files from?
Originally?
Yes.
I think it's called like Colt 3D. Colt's 3D, yeah.
Code City, yeah. And then, okay, so I'll tell him that, make a draft. The problem is he's an annoying man because he goes to bed at 9 every night, but I can't text him at like normal human hour. So I'll message him first thing tomorrow morning, and then he'll get them printed, okay?
Yeah. Just, the dry folder's probably the easiest thing to do. Hey, Artemis with the raid. Thank you, Artemis, for all your help tonight. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, just make the draft folder.
Yep, doing that right now, and then I'll do games. New folder, onewise printing, and then I'll do games. New folder. Oh, I hear myself
Hello?
through Merlin's mic.
Sorry, I was
So,
watching
Merlin?
your stream.
You silly,
God, Merlin is
goofy
pickles now.
individual.
Yeah, why would you ever watch that stream?
Damn,
God
Yeah,
bless.
get
hold out.
Wow. All right, the dry folder is... Wow, you gotta click through a lot to get there. Hold on. Let me move to trash. Pop you in. Yep.
Hold on, do you need my email?
No, I'll just share a link with you so that way... Share, copy link.
I already sent it to your Snap, but...
Here you go. This is just the link. You can just direct send this link to him.
Okay.
And then if he clicks it, that's gonna work.
Alright, and just make sure it's, like, open.
Big win, Artemis.
Sign in to continue to use Google Drive. How would you kill yourself?
Already we're having disco moments.
Alright, one was real quick. Can you? I don't want to say it on stream. Can you read the snap message I sent you?
Yeah, let me see. What did you send? Oh my god,
Just
there's a
watch
lot of videos. All right, I'm gonna mute for a second and listen to these, and then I'll do my matches. Give me 1 sec, guys.
It's a video of me pissing.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What?
Adams.
It's yeah, okay. This bit needs to stop. This is a bad bit. That is just a video of you pissing. That is-
Wait, what? Huh?
it is legitimately just a video of him
Put it on
pissing.
stream.
No! I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
think they're
banned on
allowed
every
to.
platform. I can't do
How you
that.
can't see my dick. Does
Bruh.
it just piss itself banned?
Yeah, you can't show that on stream.
Well, maybe it's like apple juice. Remember the human decanter thing we talked
It's
about?
just apple juice.
This is. I agree, Artemis. This is crazy.
You shouldn't have laughed at the first one so hard, because that made me want to do it more.
Diogo, I'll fight you first then if you gotta go to bed. Where are you?
Alright, I'm heading in. Send me in, coach. I can run a mean flea
Yeah,
flicker.
move out.
Let's do it.
I can run a mean flea flicker, coach.
I can only imagine. Jeez.
I can only imagine when that day comes. Standing in the sun.
I can't believe. No. KH
Evil
man, no,
Smash
you don't
Bros.
want to see. You do not want to see.
KH man, add me on Snap. I'll send it to you.
Hey, disco.
Hey, Disco. Hey, you, my girlfriend.
No violence, no violence! Why is she
Hey, you. I don't like your Guilty Gear man.
coming this
Did you know she is also a Canadian?
Your girlfriend?
No, Avril Lavigne, the person who sings that song.
Oh. Gay Steve.
Trust?
So long, Gay Bowser.
So long, Gay Steven.
My second poll of Gay Steve.
Merlin, what is the new name in the face?
Inside joke with my friends.
Oh, that
We're all
overhead was
playing
nice.
That was way
tutorial
too
right now.
quiet.
After the Hersha trailer, that's actually it.
Yeah, I love Hershey. Good chocolate.
Me too, bro. Me too.
I've been
A
to
lot of
Hershey.
people seem to not care for it.
I've been to Hershey a lot, but never whenever I
Oh!
can remember. Because the Hershey is where states are held for
Oh.
wrestling.
That was a rollback moment, but
Is // 2H Gatling?
as in like a true
No.
combo. Oh, why did I do that?
I don't think so. That would be kind of weird.
It's a universal Gatling, yes.
Okay.
Is it? Far,
Mhm.
Wait, far slash 2H or?
Bar slash 2H for Alpha.
2H on Alpha.
I thought you said heavy slash 2H.
No, that'd
I
be
was like,
something.
that would.
Oh, I did do
That
that.
that would be unique.
What'd you call me?
Blaze Blue Gatling.
Oh, that was nice.
Onewise when his mom gets naked. I don't know why I said that.
What the f-
Huh?
What?
You were sometimes Disco.
Alright, to be fair, Onewise invites that one.
I didn't say anything.
To be
You
fair,
have.
it's been a while since that one time.
Hello, yeah, it's been a while. Not much.
Guys, what's my
Oh, it
RC
hasn't.
button? I forgot.
You tell us.
I don't even know what controller you're using, Sam.
Well, I'm using a hitbox.
The J button.
Use your
The,
grandma's
the what
video.
button?
I
Use your
don't
grandma's
know the
hearing
J
aid.
button. I don't know if there is a J button. I'm making shit up.
Trying
You
not
got
to
this
drunk
figured
text
out.
What do you
my
mean the
grandma.
J button? It's a hitbox. There's no letters on
Yeah,
any
it's
of them.
almost like I'm making it up.
The jelly, peanut butter jelly buttons.
Yeah, the jelly button. See, Disco gets it. Like, what?
It's peanut
Why
butter
don't you-
jelly time.
Why'd you hesitate?
Trying not
on
to
the-
drunk
what?
text my grandma challenge.
I don't know
What?
why I did that. That was silly.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Did you succeed?
I don't know. This is just video ideas for onewise.
Do I drunk text my grandma frequently?
I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
What if you decide to challenge yourself? Maybe that would make it harder. It's the proverbial gun on the table.
Proverbial.
Oh, nice
I always
getting it.
hated that word.
I didn't ask. Nor do I
It's the
care.
correct.
You're getting another piss video.
I really hope not. I had
You're gonna get-
2. I got 2 today. 2. I don't need 2. 2 videos.
That's too much. Can't have too much of a good thing.
Disco, are you an exhibitionist?
No, I'm just a weirdo.
True.
Good response.
True response.
I've done like the gun thing once, so you know what? We call that an improvement.
Look, I grew up around rednecks. I'm in like deep Pennsylvania, so they're all gross and like send shit to each other like that. It's just blasé to me at this point.
Pencil Tucky.
Pennsylvania, that's what they call it.
Tuckyvania. Or
No,
what
I
do you
don't
want
need
to
3Ks, man.
Why'd I do that?
Okay, H-Man to message me his snap and I'll send. He'll get on the mailing list.
I mean, look, Case,
The
man.
mailing list.
Disco
I have a
is
mailing
most
list.
certainly the type to.
For piss
Send you that.
videos.
I have a mailing list, no, not for that, for Instagram Reels. I have like 10 different group chats.
That is true, yeah.
That I ration out to different people, so that way I don't have to type.
Ration out.
Yeah, so some have like onewise and like Bruno and Grom, but some have
Alright,
like
I think
Tommy, onewise, and Bruno, you know? Because not every
you don't have
reel.
Snapchat. Why would you want a piss video through another platform?
That's
Yeah, get
strangely
Snapchat.
organized.
Get Snapchat just for piss videos.
Oh.
And you can buy drugs through Snapchat.
Can you? Okay, I gotta burst here. I'm now realizing the situation I find myself in. Oh no!
It's the same. I was vaping in the boys' room. Did you ever vape?
No. That's
Good.
lame shit.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're gonna smoke, smoke a cigarette. Nobody ever looks cool vaping. I'm sorry, you look like a fucking
Yeah, but
dweeb.
I'll
Smoke
give
cigarettes.
I'll give vapors this. They definitely smell better.
True.
Sure, but you look like a
Actually true.
dweeb.
Actually true.
You look like a dweeb. Just smoke.
Well, you always look like a dweeb.
Yeah, I'm a VTuber and a
just
cosplayer. What do you
being-
expect?
I thought you were gonna say a cuck.
Huh?
No,
That one goes without
no, but I
saying.
do get piss
Oh,
videos from this
funny.
fucker in Pennsylvania. Don't know what to think about that.
Yeah, at any point in your life, could you imagine going back in time and saying to your younger self, yeah, at some point you're gonna receive a video of a guy pissing? From
Yeah,
from
smoke
a
cigars
Italian-
if you're Italian and want to look like a fucking gangster. Insert big dog here.
Okay.
Or Bruno, I guess.
Or me? Do I not get on the Italian train?
Are you Italian?
Extremely, yeah.
What do you mean extremely?
Like my great grandfather was like off the boat Italian.
fuck. Nice.
Whee!
Fuck. No, I just don't go around saying I'm Italian because that would be, you know, stupid because I was born in Grove City. About an hour and a half north of Pittsburgh.
Alright, we stay safe.
Down at the, down at the, down at the, down, 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 down at the double.
Whoops.
I want to listen to Pantera for fun.
I don't listen to Pantera ever because I actually care about people in my life and I had, like, loving parents.
Yeah, but you were born in South Carolina.
That is unfortunately true, yeah. I was born in the first state to secede from the Union, which is a really sad thing, 'cause that's the only thing South Carolina has that makes it special, is that it was extra racist.
Yeah, you're a turncoat, pal. How does that make you feel?
Great,
You're gonna be
because I'm
picking-
not going to be on the side of fucking losers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry your union only existed for 4 years, you dumb fucks.
Oh, no, you're a turncoat to the American people because unfortunately once you're born somewhere you can't change it and you can't evolve or grow as a person. You're stuck.
I'll be a traitor then, or an informant.
Kiss
Oh
of
my god, what a
Judas.
combo.
Mew and Wendy's 4 for 4. Mew and Wendy's 4 for 4.
Last time one of us actually ate at Wendy's.
I remember the exact time it was because I was driving to go see onewise. And I was very excited. And it tasted terrible. It was so greasy. It was near Scranton, so where the Office was filmed. I thought about taking a detour to go see the Office stuff, but
I actually think I know where that Wendy's is, because I think I stopped there before.
it wasn't in Scranton, so if it wasn't that one, then I really don't know because it was some boof-ass tiny Wendy's.
Boof ass.
What is?
Oofus.
Oh
I've never
no.
heard of that terminology.
I didn't really have
There
a
we go.
plan very much. I just drove until
Wow.
I got hungry and was almost out of gas, and I was like, alright, Wendy's time.
This looks bad.
I didn't seek out for a Wendy's.
This looks very bad.
Why am I so
is very
fucking
bad.
bad at defending? It's actually crazy.
We are defenders of the faith. Kiss of Judas, spider line.
No, disco, please. I need to rack my brain around this.
GG's Steve Wiegand.
Ah, god damn it, man.
What did you just call him?
Steve
I was gonna say that's a beta
Wiegand.
burst. Oh,
Steve
thank God.
Wiener. Steve Wiener. Hello, Steve Wiener. You've been vaping for too long, Steve Wiener.
Touch my wiener, Steve.
I have
man.
never.
Wait, that wasn't what I meant to say.
You've lost the context of it being touch my monkey, so now it just sounds like you're just
Yeah,
sexually
no,
harassing
it's
Steve.
just, yeah. No, it's nice.
That's
You're
just
just
kind of
telling me
real.
to touch your wiener.
Go play Merlin. Merlin needs some love.
Hello there.
Wait, is Merlin? Oh.
He's on the other side. Press
Oh, that's
square,
why.
and then click
Okay,
on Merlin.
you know?
No. You know
You're
what, Steve? Walk
stupid.
over here. Walk over here, right goddamn. You're gonna do this the right way. You're gonna do this the right way.
Oh, I gotta walk over to
Walk
you.
over here.
Oh,
Right next to
okay.
me. You're
Yeah.
gonna press. What controller are you on?
PS4.
Press square.
Oh yeah, you're okay.
Go down to Merlin's name
Yeah.
And
Click
you can
Merlin.
go over.
and click move close
Uh-huh.
to it.
Ah. I see.
We actually learned from our past mistakes, chat. Right, that just
No, I've known how to do this all along.
Oh, so you just made me explain it to you like a dumbass for nothing? I think you just like.
Yeah, and
being
then yeah,
captive.
I also
mean,
didn't.
we
I
don't need
walked
to
up
prove that you're a dumbass.
I also just walked up to it like a fucking asshole. So you know. Thanks, man.
Yo, gabba gabba, bitch.
That is the first time anyone's ever said "Yo Gabba Gabba bitch." It's like a
We're making new sentences here.
Yo Gabba Gabba.
Alright,
kinda
Yogo,
hard.
We're
GG's.
expanding
I'm
the
gonna
English
put this late.
lexicon.
GG's.
Yo Gabba Gabba kind of went hard. That guy
Yo,
in
Gabba
the
Gabba
orange,
was a good show.
guy in the orange tracksuit.
And onewise just finished their match too.
One was just finished.
Disco time. I always finish first.
Okay.
Hey, it was a close
You want me
match.
to-
It was a close match. I hate Deftones. Jesus Christ.
They're a piss ass band.
Why'd I do that?
They don't like.
I don't
That's
think I'm gonna
why.
3-0
Oh
you
my
today,
God,
Disco,
that's
because I'm
half my HP.
thinking about things and I'm.
Yeah, and didn't you know?
Fuck
Naga
Deftones.
Super,
Deftones makes good music.
26 H's.
Diamond Eyes is a fantastic album. I think it's like a 10 out of 10 album.
I like diamond ass.
You literally like sex tape.
Yeah, I don't actually have any. I don't actually hate death times. I just like talking shit. You like them.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was a good 6P. That was
We
such a good
learned.
6P.
Onewise. Wagon
I
just
would-
did half my HP in 2 6Hs.
Womp womp.
The Steve
Otherwise,
special.
can I please get out of alpha pressure?
I'll be real, that button is like half
You're
the reason
pressing?
I like to be on high blood. Not even for the practicality of it, it just feels really good to do.
Steve has high blood pressure from all the maple syrup he's drank.
I don't drink maple syrup very often at all.
Okay, whatever, dude.
I also don't have high blood pressure. I'm good.
Wait, how did that card hit?
I'm chilling. I used to be
Wasn't
not
a card.
chilling. Now I'm
Fuck
chilling.
it, I'll burst too.
Ouch. Me amo penis.
QTE failed.
Cooties failed. Steve has cooties.
No.
Cooties failed.
QTE failed. Wait, that's what you
QTE.
said originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really funny. I forgot to laugh though. Sorry about that.
It wasn't even a joke, I was just talking like a normal human being. You don't know what that is because you're
There's
freaking-
nothing normal about you. You sent me a video of you fucking pissing.
That is normal. Everyone does that here.
Oh, yeah, well, where here is not normal. The majority of people in this country don't live in backwater towns like that.
Alright, well, the majority of people in this country actually do live in New York, so I can't even have a rebuttal for that one.
No, don't say that's normal. We don't need the
Oh.
international support.
Hey,
This
you're
guy
that.
does not deserve that.
No.
Oh, I thought the 2 people counter hit there. God damn it.
And I cracked under pressure.
Joker's just
All systems down.
I'm so pissed at Zach. Zach is the guy 3D printing your gun, by the way. That's not his real name, but... that's
Okay, I
what
shouldn't
know.
have done that.
Oh, I'm doxing people in real life, damn.
Oh, wait, we hit it.
Well, I don't know his real name either.
Oh. No.
I'm sorry, where's my RC? Game?
RC stands for Red Cock.
No.
I was paying attention too.
That was Bayonet. Bayonetta.
Hey,
I
another.
wish Bayonetta was real and she would give me a kiss.
No. I wasn't paying attention.
What are you, Ken and Barbie? Like, what the fuck?
Who's Ken
Oh!
and Barbie?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
he's both of
I haven't
them.
seen the movie.
I like the
Hello.
implication that he's both Ken and Barbie at the same time.
This guy is Disco, yes.
Hello
More like
everyone.
this guy.
Is that Artemis?
No. That's Diogo from Brazil.
Hello, Diogo. It is I. Disco.
Yes, Artemis, I don't know why that message got blocked by Automod, but I would love the matchup, the dumbest bit of matchup tech. And I will not tell Disco what it is.
I'll figure it out.
I actually need to know this because I want to be Disco even more consistently.
Am I your like
Uh,
benchmark?
What did I do? Oh.
Fuck. As soon as I FT.
Wait, what? The IAD-J8? What?
Well, now I know what it is.
Well, no, I just think it's funny that you can do that.
I don't know why I've just forgot about grabbing as a
specific to
concept in this
Alpha?
game lately.
What, because it's like a 4-framer, or?
Oh shit, I know what it is. Never mind.
Oh, you got a burst, don't you? Wait,
Once
which
you
one
know
was the
it-
JH Artemis?
No. I was expecting
Yeah.
the cinematic, so I was vlogging, but then you messed up your input, got slow slap.
The move I wall smacked
Yeah.
you.
You know, those mistakes are allowed to be made though. When it works, when it works, it works. I mean, no, I totally tried to confirm on it on purpose. Why'd I do that?
Interesting.
I was wondering why you did that too.
That was like the most obvious thing in the world too. There was no,
Well, it sounds like you need to move in now with
My
that.
autopilot's gone crazy.
Burn, baby, burn. Just go and burn. Burn, baby, burn, burn.
Okay.
That was JH, onewise.
I didn't
Onewise, I
realize
gotta
how
say,
heavy I
Flame has ruined me against other elf votes because I always try to air throw when you would pineberry, and they don't always do that.
Oh wow, okay.
Onewise, are you here?
Yeah?
I'm surprised that reached. I thought I biffed it when I read her seed there.
Where is it?
Is that a little low HP character? Feels like I'm dying.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's
she
low
is
HP.
very easy to kill. And
Were you mashing YRC there?
Naga Blood does not help.
In the corner, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to bait it out, and I kept counter hitting you because you wouldn't stop mashing,
Ah.
which ended up saving you. Because if I had baited it, I would have killed you.
Artemis, what do... Well, I'll let you get to bed. I was gonna ask what are her best round start options, but
Against Johnny, probably not.
in general, I just
Literally
keep blocking
nothing.
and calling it a day.
Yeah, just kill me here. Take me.
Take,
Take me!
Freezia.
Okay, we're all singing different songs.
Oh, holy right.
Wait a minute, that's not a song.
Nah, I just want to say it.
We're doing
Oh,
sing it.
So, Baba
I
on Chocolate.
completely
Oh,
biffed
far
that
side?
dust, but whatever, it's fine.
Get off of me!
Cool.
Holy fuck! I fucking hate that you're good at this game now, by the way.
I think it's cool.
Oh, okay.
I do not.
Okay, let's try it. That wasn't it.
I tried to be cool.
Doesn't play Johnny. Says he tries to be cool. Excuse me?
I play Nago, he's cool enough. I
Okay,
succeed in
Nago,
being cool
unironically,
that way.
Nago is one of the coolest characters in Guilty Gear in general.
It's part of the reason I play him. He's just a sick
Whoa, man.
motherfucker. Like, look
Who's
at
the
him.
least cool character on that? Kai.
That's a good question. Let me think about that.
Faust or Kai?
I could see. I think Ty is actually decently cool.
Ooh,
He's
I gambled
not
on that,
cool.
but
He's
look.
neat.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
No. Fuck! Of all times you don't.
Ty's kinda cool, he's just not cool. Like, he's.
Diogo, you're banned permanently.
It's like a
Dude.
tertiary trait of him, not a primary trait of him.
Like, who
It's
do
not
I
the
kn-
first
I
word
gotta
I'd
look
use
at
to
the
describe him,
cast
but I'd eventually
and
get there.
see
Wiggle,
who I
wiggle,
think
wiggle.
actually isn't cool.
It's gotta be like Faust. But that might be personal bias because I really don't like Faust.
Honestly,
You really don't.
okay, Faust before Strive, I would agree with you. However,
I like
the
Faust
darker,
less than
the
I
darker
think
vibe
Fact
in
is-
Strive, I think is actually really cool. I like that it's just kind of not explained.
It is explained. Someone didn't play the story.
I don't give a shit about the
Well,
story.
Then don't say it's
I watched
unexplained.
3-hour
It's
video
not
essays and
explained.
call it a day.
I don't give a shit either. I mean, it basically is a 3-hour video essay.
Doesn't he die in the story?
He gets like he gets his soul sucked out, not in a fun way.
Fuck.
Is there a fun way for that to happen?
Yes.
Succubus, probably.
Use
I
your
don't know.
brain.
I mean, at the end of the day, does it really matter if his soul got sucked out? Because, like, he was a serial killer.
yeah, but he was like.
Okay,
forgiven.
Diogo.
But then he became a funny, cool, good guy. I mean, unironically, that's kind of what happened, but I don't know if that makes
So
it
you're
right.
saying, oh, no, I
It does-
shouldn't
it
finish that
doesn't.
joke.
It actually absolutely doesn't, but shh.
Don't go where you were going with that, by the way.
I don't think you know where I was going.
I know it was somewhere bad.
I mean, I guess I'll finish it. I was gonna say, so you're saying Dahmer had a chance.
No, that was what we were saying. That was funny. It's fucked up, but funny.
You got the old onewise special.
rolling the old flesh cigar around.
That was
my
like the
fingertip.
only time
Okay,
you
let's not-
used it
let's
too. But yeah, you
let's not
did.
do this, yeah.
Straight up.
Did you? No one even heard that.
I
Except
did.
you.
Nah, sorry, what? Dahmer had a chance?
No, Happy Chaos is unironically sick as fuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Happy Chaos
hardest
is
character.
like
medicine,
top.
Jesus.
Happy Chaos is the hottest character in the game because he looks like me.
Bedman is kind of
blue.
lame, not gonna lie.
Don't tell Logan.
Bedman in Strive with like the way that it operates now is interesting, but he's kind of just fucking lame.
He operated the same way, didn't he? He just had the like.
Yeah, but
That
well,
unironic-
Bedman
that
is
unironically
dead, so
worked
the
out so
actual
well,
character
man.
of Bedman, aka
Dude,
Romeo,
I'm
is
doing
lame as
air
fuck.
dash by accident.
The
Fuck this gremlin.
Make
GG's,
better
Reggie.
accidents.
all right, let's go GG's.
Are we only doing
Oh,
first to
that's
three?
gonna be held.
Day 2. Day 2.
Alright, onewise, I'm almost finished.
All right, Merlin did want next, so.
You motherfucker.
Oh, you're finished, aren't you?
Let's go.
Oh, hey,
I'm
Dan.
about to-
Where are you, Merlin? Wait,
I'm playing against Wagon.
I really don't want to fight. Oh, why are you in the top corner? I really don't want to do the Elfelt mirror match.
Why
I mean,
not?
I've been learning with Artemis the entire time.
I know you have. That's why I don't want to fight it. I hate Elfelt Ditto.
That's how you can apply it better. Unironically.
How you learn how to play.
Alright, GG's, Wagon.
GG's, Merlin.
I do not like the.
Technically won the first of three.
Yeah, I did, but you got the bonus round.
Okay,
Alright.
May is not lame, but she in a coolness tier list. She's not cool per se. She's
Mhm.
cute. She's not cool. Like Johnny, Asuka, Happy Chaos.
Onewise, I'm ready.
They have unimaginable drip. I'm not doing the Elfelt Ditto.
How are we rating coolness? Gameplay?
No,
Fashion?
just
Look.
being cool. Like
I thought
you look
I
at
thought you'd want to do the LFL data so that you can like practice
you
more
look at
stuff.
you look at Johnny, and you're like, damn, Johnny's cool. You look at May, and your thought isn't, oh, May is cool. Also, sorry, same for Bridget. Bridget isn't cool. She's cute, right? Like you look at May, and you're like, she's cute. You look at Dizzy,
The
you're
only
like,
thing
she's
about-
beautiful. You look at Asuka, not Asuka, sorry, Anji, and you're like, that is a fucking gorgeous slab of marble carved by the gods and put on this planet to be.
I think you might be projecting on
admired.
that one, but true.
I think the only inherently cool thing about May's design is her big anchor.
Yeah, Johnny's song is pretty neat.
Maybe
Although I think Johnny's song
you
is
could
the weakest
argue
part of
her
Johnny.
hat.
Jocelyn is an okay song.
That kind of falls in the cute.
When you look at onewise, you think,
All right, after this match versus Merlin, I kind of want to do a character theme, Strive character theme tier list.
okay, okay,
So I'll do that after
down.
my fight with Merlin.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
No love is one.
We made we were making tier lists yesterday. We were like doing community characters and shit.
Yes.
Well, see, Bridget's cool because Bridget is trans. If May was trans, then maybe May would be cooler.
Okay, personal bias.
Bro.
Okay, Sin is cool because he's a dumbass motherfucking 5-year-old monkey
He's not cool.
who
Look,
is
Sin is a
kind
kind
of
of
silly.
silly.
I
He's
don't
not
know
cool.
if I consider Sin cool.
Name one time
Yeah,
you've
he's
ever looked at a
comically-
5-year-old.
Okay, he's not cool. He's just a silly 5-year-old. But cute
you
isn't.
can-
You can't use the word cute to describe him.
No.
He is. He's cute. I think you could.
He's not cute.
No, I blocked that.
Nice block, nerd.
Mix. Damn it.
I feel like he's more charming than cute, but yeah.
Yeah.
Charming.
He's more charming.
Well, no,
Ay,
Sin.
he
We can all
fucking
agree Sin is a dumbass. There are no thoughts. Sin does not have them. He doesn't know what a thought is.
I sing your proper
should've staggered pressure there.
What is Irish Steve?
I don't know, it's just a fun one to break out.
What? Do you
Watch
think I
this
can just
one.
email Ireland and be like, can I get banned from this country?
Ever Ever since
No, just
thinking
send them an
about-
email and it's an image of Margaret Thatcher and they'll never let you in.
What if it was like, I hate this woman, and it was a picture of Margaret Thatcher?
Then they'll let
What
you
if
in.
there
They'll
was
give,
an,
they'll give
what
you
if there was an
citizenship.
explosion gift note underneath it?
Okay.
Well, they'd probably be like, good job.
Good job. They just give you a thumbs up, let you in. Pat on the back.
No.
Yep, that's what I would have did.
No. Come on. Give me that kid with the continent.
No,
I
thank you.
fucking hate DPs. I wish they removed them from the game. Fuck you.
Yo,
You said you didn't want to play the elf
I have silly move that has invincible. It has armor so I can hit through anything you
This is
do.
exactly
To be
why I
fair, you
say-
could have played the character without a DP. You had the option.
No, I
Look.
refuse to play a character with a DP because I'm not a fucking twerp.
No, I mean
cool.
against the
One more.
character. No,
I
I
was
meant
offering
you
to
could
play
have played
with
against
the
the
elf
character
here.
with it, but you were like,
I didn't
no,
want
don't
that
the
either.
God doesn't
Well,
give
you're
a
just a
shit
picky
about
eater.
you.
Why? You're doing an elf.
What do you mean bait it? What am I supposed to do?
It's too
You're
soul.
just you're just being a picky
I wanted to
fighter.
play the elf Elmir in practice.
Me, I'm a penis.
Daylight come and I want go
See, like, I tried to
home.
dash block there, but I fucked it up.
Daylight come and me one go.
You have to FD or else your dash comes out like 3 frames later.
Please.
Wow.
I'm too used to people egging me.
Hyogo, you are not long for this world, is all I'm gonna say.
Wait. Yep, there we go. Okay.
When was this calling you short?
Yeah, how'd it feel being allowed back in your home after Christmas ended because Santa no longer needed his elves?
Don't say anything.
No, your burst saved me. You bursted before I could die.
I alt
Guys,
forward.
I gotta get this off my chest. When was you still look like
I
that,
alt
man?
forward. I alt forward. We're doing the
Why
tier
did you
list
alt
now.
Thank you for the
Like,
information.
now. We're doing the tier list now. We're doing the tier list now.
Come on, you're
also-
slowly becoming.
We're doing the tier list now.
You are
Guys-
slowly becoming low tier god.
We're doing the tier list now.
slowly but
We're doing
surely.
the tier list now. We will listen to a decent, well, not too long, but we'll listen to a decent bit of every theme. Let me do
that was good.
Strive tier list. All right. Let me pull this up. I'm going to go grab some water before we do this.
What the fuck?
Great. Guilty Gear Strive with Dizzy. Oh, this is... Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. My last tier list is still here.
Show it. Share with the class.
I'll let you guys guess what this tier list is.
Bust sizes of
Hottest?
Honkai Star Rail characters.
No, I'm saying my last Strive tier list that I made is still here.
Oh, you're shitty.
Wasn't it hottest males or some shit?
No,
Yeah,
not
mm.
hottest males.
Characters you don't like playing against.
Not that one either.
Was it just a tier list?
No, it's not a regular tier list.
Hello.
Is it?
Wait.
No, Get Over Nightmares is not technically a character theme.
Oh, the other way around.
Is someone in your room right now, Onewise?
No, that's Merlin. That's stream coming through Merlin's mic.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Let me mute myself.
I was like,
So this is my tier list.
Sorry
Your
about that. Sorry
first
about
tier
that.
list?
Yeah, KH man did get it right. This is my levels of
It is your first tier list?
This is my thirst tier list, yeah.
I wasn't
it.
here for this.
No, you missed it.
I remember this now.
No.
Just I want to make sure that the people know, just so if El Pug ever comes in here, that head ass,
Hold on.
that
Hold
Chip
on, I'm
is
in the mid-
lower than Gold Lewis. Just remember that.
I'm in the middle of a game. Do not close
Download
that before
image.
I can see it.
All right, it's downloaded. I have it downloaded, so I'll send it to you later.
No. I want to roast you now on stream.
All right, fine. I'll leave it up.
Give me like 2 seconds.
Get over
Here, you know
Nightmares
what?
makes
Just
me
kill me,
twerk.
Daniel. Just kill me,
I'm not
Daniel.
gonna
have to
lie,
do
I
it.
kind of agree with a lot of these.
You can alt tab while watching it if you want to, man. What
No,
can
I'm
you
not
do?
on computer. I'm not on computer.
Oh wait. Oh. Oh, I forgot.
Like
You can.
you can't even put.
multi-
I mean, the only one that really can't even exist on this tier list is Bedman, because Bedman is literally just a bed. So like, there's
Okay,
nothing
what?
you can do.
Why
D tier is really on point, but I respect the person who puts Potemkin higher.
is Chip a D tier?
All right,
just-
so we're gonna quickly justify all my rankings before we're gonna move on. We'll start from D tier and we'll work our way up.
Chip is a crackhead. Or
Okay.
not crackhead.
Bedman is a bed. Sin is 5. Faust is fucking
Gross.
weird and kind of yucky. Like, I get the twink thing, but
He's
Faust
also
is not
he's
twink.
also bald.
Having
Faust,
sex with Faust would
is-
be like getting tackled by a skeleton.
Okay, having sex with Faust would be like having sex with Count Orlok.
I feel like you'd be
Potemkin.
shedding. I feel like you'd
Potemkin-
shed skin.
Okay, Potemkin is not my type, and also even if I like super muscular people, Potemkin is excessively muscular. So
Yeah, it's like
D
body
tier.
horror.
Chip is a nerd. I'm
Body
sorry.
horror.
Chip is a
Chip is a
weeb.
nerd,
Chip
but
doesn't take
Asuka,
showers. Chip is disgusting. I don't like
Doesn't
Chip.
Asuka and
So no,
It's
this is
all
my
in
tier
B
list.
tier.
You listen. We go to C tier. Leo's in C tier because Leo's not my type, but I can
Leo's gross.
respect the person who that is their type. I think he's a
I
very
don't.
fine individual. Axel, also not
come
really
on.
my type. He's
Why
kind of
not?
like twink
Axel's
energy.
more a guy you'd want to hang out with.
I would love to be best friends with Axel. I would not go out on a date with Axel.
I'd want to hump his little butt.
Gold Lewis is awesome, and Gold Lewis and Axel are the same, where they're not people that I'd necessarily want to date, but I would absolutely go out and get beers with them. Like
I would
every
not want to
Saturday.
date Gold Lewis at all. No.
Gold Lewis is cool as hell. He would be a
Gold Lewis
great.
would
He
know
would
the
be a great man of the
Best
house.
burger spot.
Yeah, but
We
I
go
would
to-
not.
We go to B
ever.
tier. Asuka is
Imagine
also.
you get to hang out with his brother.
So here's the
Sorry.
deal, right? That's
Gold
true.
Lewis does have a brother from Exeter.
That's
yeah,
also
you
true,
get
yeah.
Burger Sheriff.
You do. So here's the thing, right? Asuka is Chip, but way better. First of all, he was a cat boy for a short time. Second of all,
Ooh.
he is he's a nerd, but he's kind of like an endearing nerd. Like he's a little bit
war criminal.
he's a little bit of a dick, but it's kind of cute where
He's a
he's like,
little
he's
bit
a
of
you
a
know,
war criminal.
I don't want to fight you. It would be much easier to just destroy you. Like it's
a
kind of
war
it's kind of
criminal.
cute. So
He's
he's
a
kind
war criminal.
he's cute. Also his cloak is sick as fuck. He is the most drip of any Strive character, and I stand by that. That cloak is fucking awesome.
He also
I
has
Anyways,
don't like the I don't care for the face flower.
Yeah, the fish flower is
okay,
very
look,
excessively
in
homosexual.
bed, if I'm going downtown, I don't need to see the face flower, so who cares? Next, we move to
What about
I'm not even gonna acknowledge that.
Next-
yeah, whatever.
Kai and Soul are both even because honestly, they're
No,
both kind of the
no,
same for me. They're both
no,
kind of white bread.
Bullshit.
Kai, okay.
No.
Kai fits more of the twink vibe, and Soul
he does
is more
not.
of the muscle guy vibe. Both
No.
are endearing. They would make Soul would make an awful husband, but Kai he would be great in bed. Kai would make a fantastic husband, but he's not
smells bad.
necessarily my type. Soul definitely smells
Soul
bad.
does smell bad. Yeah,
And
that's
not-
true.
not-
But
like,
Soul does
yeah,
have
no.
like 7 PhDs, so he's actually kind of intelligent. He just doesn't want to apply it. Uh,
So what's
That
the
doesn't-
point?
so let's
Kai's way
move.
better than Soul.
Let's move to
Screw
A
you.
tier.
If he's so smart, then why doesn't he know how to smell good?
Johnny is easy A, very hot. He would be this is a bad relationship. This is a toxic relationship waiting to happen. But he is hot, so he gets
Sexy.
there. Zato is
Yeah.
sexy as fucking hell.
So
Oh my
I gotta
god.
ask,
Yeah.
But didn't Hassel
it's
die
gotta
in
be
the-
personality then, because he has a similar hairstyle and look to Axel.
Yeah, well,
But-
okay. Here's the thing. I can get behind the twink type, but
He's not a twink at all. Have you seen his arms?
Axel is
No,
more
he's not.
more so than Zato. But also
Just say skinnier. Don't
Zato
misappropriate
look,
twink.
I'm just gonna be quite honest. Zato's
Axel
a little
is
bit
banky.
Zato is fruitier. You know? Like he
Yeah, that is
does
true.
his dances and stuff. Like he's kind of cool as hell. Also, I may listen
He is
to
dandy.
music that speaks anti-government rhetoric, but if he was like, "You work for the government now," absolutely, I'm working for the
Oh
government
yeah,
now.
you're dripping.
Nagora Yuki, hot as hell. Also, one of the coolest characters. just in any fighting game, he's awesome. I love Nagoriyuki. Such a cool ass design. Everything about him is awesome. He's
There's a reason this guy was marketed as the first teaser for Strive.
as he should have
He's
been.
the
He's
goat of
amazing,
goats.
and he actually is a very good person. He was mind controlled for Strive, why he did bad thing, but he is actually a good man. So he would be a fantastic partner. Oh. No. Stream is actually laggy. Give me a sec. Okay, hold on. I need to lower. You guys might have to watch through stream because I can't Discord stream at the same time. It gets incredibly fucking laggy. I don't want to do that, but I kind of have to because it tanks stream.
Close stream.
All of us to drive up.
But the delay is like maybe a
everyone
second.
else.
Oh my god. We'll continue. Anji
Arf.
is the peak. Well, I know. Okay. Disco, you're getting server muted. Anji is. I know Slayer's S and Anji's not, but Anji is like peak male design, like perfect male wife material right there. He is beautiful. He's in the fine arts, which I love. He's just got it all. Anji's a fantastic. He's a solid A tier. Milia makes A tier because she's hot, but not necessarily my type. But she is cool, so she makes it there. That's all I really have to say. I don't have much to say about Milia. All right, Disco's on server muted. Happy Chaos is very hot. Not S tier, but like if I have to be down bad for someone bad, I would choose Happy Chaos.
Interestingly enough, that's also probably OneWise's opinion for me.
Real quick, how old is May? May is an adult, right?
22
Okay.
and extra.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
an adult.
so
May is an adult.
She belongs in A tier then. She's very cute. I would definitely love being partners with her. So she's awesome. Also, Jacko is very awesome. She's
Jacko,
cool.
okay, for just real quick, if I throw my 2 cents in the mix, Jacko for female for me, and Happy Chaos for male for me.
Okay. I definitely see Happy Chaos for you. I gotta be honest. Oh,
That
no.
would be weird fucking Happy Chaos. It'd be like fucking like myself.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Disco just wants a sweetheart.
S tier.
That's cute.
Actually, no, I'm sliding you down. Hold on, I gotta revise my S tier list. Geo still belongs in S tier. I'm gonna raise Slayer to here. All right. In order, Geo is very hot. I'm a big fan of Geo. She's cool.
Yeah.
Ava is like, she is a awful choice waiting to happen. But
I like her style.
yeah, no,
I
her
like
style.
her style.
She's got immaculate drip. I love the emo aesthetic.
Dude, you know she smells terrible.
Bridget.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Bridget is.
I don't know.
Kind of, yeah.
The obsessive behavior might kind of like even that out.
Bridget
terrible
is
smell.
second
Like-
cutest character.
Like it might factor in the
this
make
game.
her
Okay, I thought this was hottest, not cutest.
obsessively.
Okay, but
clean.
that cute counts for hot for me, so she makes it on S. She's adorable.
So you're
I
saying
love
that
her.
children?
I was just about to say
That man's
so
an
he's,
F tier.
funny.
No,
Slayer is peak male design. The fact
Oh
that
my
he's
God.
a vampire and chooses to look middle-aged because he knows a refined middle-aged man is hot is beautiful. Like,
That's very dandy.
he is literally a gift from the gods, and us mere mortals don't deserve him. He's too beautiful.
What about his wife?
Let's also
I think his
Well,
wife
my
is a solid F.
wife.
I think his
also
wife is a
also
solid
talking
F.
about who's beautiful.
You wanna
Testament.
fuck old men so bad.
Testament could step on me any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
You and
Are we
Testament.
talking about Gold Lewis yet?
Moving
he's in,
on,
D.
Biken is definitely my type.
She does not smell.
Oops.
You're a boob
I don't
man?
care that she smells bad. No, not even for the boobs. It's the personality for her. Not the, it's not
Well,
the
that means
boobs.
boobs.
I don't give a shit what she
Me when
does.
biking boobs.
She can smell bad. She can come home drunk. She could spend all night out with the boys drinking. I will gladly cook, clean, do laundry, scrub the house, clean the toilets, wash the showers, do whatever the hell she tells me to do. I will listen. Eno is freaky, bitch. If you
Yeah,
want to have
okay,
the
I get it.
freakiest weekend, she definitely would get you there. So
Can
Eno,
I say
Eno makes it.
Can I say a part of Ina's design that I actually appreciate?
Yeah.
I like her haircut. Her haircut is my favorite thing about her because so many anime characters always default to like the shaggy wolf cut style bob, and I appreciate a character who has a sharp ass, clean line bob.
She's got a very clean bob.
It's like when you polish a man named Robert.
Moving
Clean
on,
bob.
Ramlethal I think is very, very attractive.
How old is Ram?
I don't really have much to say about her. We're not gonna talk about that.
Dude.
Look,
I like
Jacko is
Faust.
6 months old technically, so like they're gears. It's weird. Anyways, Queen Dizzy is by far the most beautiful character in Strive. In
It's
any
Faust.
She's not
fucking
hot, though.
fucking Guilty Gear. She is so
Faust-
fucking hot. I'm sorry.
Faust is emotionally beautiful.
No, he's not.
What does that even mean?
Emotionally beautiful. That's like the most cope ass fucking
But yeah, no.
statement I've ever heard.
Queen Dizzy is okay, we're gonna not talk about the last one. If Queen
Oh,
Dizzy would
no,
be
I wanna
number
hear your
one,
actual-
number one S tier easily, because there is no character in any fighting game more beautiful than her, and I stand by that.
What do you
Well,
like?
I don't know if you're talking about
Why they
beautiful or
rap?
sexy, because there's a big difference.
Oh, is that
Okay,
in your-
well, hold on. In S tier, if we're talking beautiful, it's Dizzy. If we're talking sexy, it's Eno, Slayer, or Testament.
It's
And
not
if we're
Slayer.
talking cute, it's Elfelt for me.
You want a fucking old man so bad.
I love Elfelt to death.
Why do you?
I
what
would
do you
marry
love
her
about
instantly.
Elfelt? What do you love
I
about
think her personality is awesome. I love that. I think it's
Ash
very.
that finger the super.
She's simultaneously very cute, looking for husband or wife. I think she's actually more open in this game, which is good for her. But also, she's a rock star, which is really cool.
What do you like about her
So-
physically?
You pressed on that?
I don't.
I can't.
Her haircut is awesome.
Nah, I'm a madman.
I don't value people for their bodies, but
You don't have to, but you can still find value
You can
in it. You don't
still,
have to value-
yeah.
she is
You don't-
proportioned very well to fit my type.
Amen. One was a thighs.
I
Possibly.
kind of understand. Elfelt is kind of the complete package. I think she's exhibits a lot of things. Like the Rockstar thing
don't
is
have
cool.
one.
The overall
Holden.
design
Her
and behavior
design
is very
her
cute.
design in Exard is very okay. Her sign design is the worst. I know that Frogger would probably kill me for that, but I think her sign design is the worst. It's good. Her Exard design is amazing. I think technically it's her best, but I love her Strive design because it's
I think her
it's
Strive
full
design is
Rockstar, which is so cool. So yeah, I love Elfelt, but we're gonna reset. I saved this so we have it. We're gonna reset.
Wait. The lowest ranked woman you have is Milia. Why? I like Milia a lot.
She's not quite my type. That's it.
But you
Just
hate
go
to see
top three.
powerful women. What?
Top 3 for you.
What about? Oh, Heavy Chaos. Jacko. Eno.
All right. Now this one's gonna be a little bit harder, so I am gonna make this one like
I
for
thought it was
stream,
close
which is
enough.
gonna be theme songs, just because I have to play stuff through it. So there's no feasible way for me to do that in a Discord call. So we are doing theme songs now. So zoop. All right, we're gonna do theme songs, but I'm gonna go pee very quickly, and then let's do these theme songs. Give me 1 minute. I'm not even gonna switch to a be right back because I have my water here. So just give me 1 minute. All right, we're back. So, we're here. We're back. Let's do Guilty Gear themes. Boop. There we go. Let's do it. Let me pull this up. I have them all here in a playlist. We're going to start. I mean, they are not quite in this order, but let's start with Soul. We're not going to play too much of every theme song because I want to go to bed at a reasonable hour, and this is like 2 hours and 48 minutes, but let's start with Soul's theme. Soul's theme is really good. I know it's silly to like try and establish a baseline where we are, but when I'm thinking of a Strive theme, this is what I want. It's heavy hitting. The vocals are great, right? It's got a good beat. I love the guitar on it. For me, I'm putting it B because I think this is a fantastic baseline starting point for what a Strive theme should be. Look if we jump ahead a little bit. This is great. It's just a banger. I have no complaints, no notes. It's just a great song. If anything, the thing that holds it back from being A tier... Hold on, where is it? There's some interesting breakdown stuff that happens in there. But anyways, let's go to Roar the Spark. Kai's theme. Kai's theme has some really good guitar that I personally love. I especially love to jump ahead. Where is it? This part, which you don't really hear in the game, this is one of my favorite parts in any Strive song. I just like how there's two guitars that are constantly building on one another. I think this part is sick as hell. So for me, Roar the Spark is an A tier. I think this is a fantastic song. I think it takes what Find Your One Way does and elevates it to the next level. For me, this part is what brings it up to A tier. You know what? Actually, because of some of the songs that we have coming up, I'm going to make it a high B. I think it's better than Soul's theme and also serves as a good baseline. All right, so now we got May's theme. We'll go in this order. We'll go in this order. So now we got May's theme, The Disaster of Passion. May's theme is fun. If you ever wanted a theme that feels like an anime opening, this is it. This theme is very cool. I am a big fan. I love Aisha as an artist. I love her vocals. I like how this is just kind of a silly, upbeat song, you know? So for me, it's an A tier. I think it deserves to belong in A tier. Now we get to Axel, and so this is where things get a little interesting, and I think this is where the tier list is going to have some interesting points, right? I think we can see where the Guilty Gear community lies on some of these themes, because a lot of them you don't hear very much. This is one, Out of the Box. Now, I think Out of the Box is a great song. We just don't hear it very often. It's not a song of choice for a lot of people. It's got a good melody, right? And again, the problem is, I think every single Strive theme is actually really good. It's a matter of ranking them against each other. So something that's in D tier, I still think is a great song. I just don't necessarily think that it can outdo a lot of the other things. So this goes C tier for me. I think this is a good song. But it's a fun song, you know? Like, this would be a good song to run to. You can bop your head to it. We get to Chip's theme. Play the hero. I'm not the big fan of this song, I gotta be honest with you guys. Like, I think it's... Yeah, we're back. This song is cool. I like the guitar. Are we still here? Stream still up? Yeah. You're not too talkative. I'm enjoying talking. Potemkin... Yeah, I think it goes here. For now. This may go up. But actually, hold on. We're gonna let the chorus rock. It may have for a second. We're still here. Any sound? Oh no, there's no sound. Huh. Test? Hello?